Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott here on a Sunday afternoon just to kind of chill out, share some, like the topic of the video, some fellowship and fun. I'm in a great mood, feeling inspired. I'm always wondering when I click go live, what might come up. So, hey, some of the notifications must be working. Blessings. Thank you. What's up, Cynthia, for joining? Austin Murphy, blessings to all who are stopping by, who may join at a later time. Thank you to everyone. Gratitude, man. It feels good. And thank you. Please do the subscribe thing. Whatever's supposed to be helpful. If you can think about it, if you want to. Today, I am, my goal for myself, just so it's here, my purpose is to be more humbly present. Humility is a trait that I thought I understood. I thought I knew what it meant to be humble. I thought I knew what it meant to be happy. Golly geez, I didn't know a lot of things before. Earlier in life is what I'm thinking, but we're all that way. We learn things as we go. And the things we learn, they kind of grow with us. Some of the definitions, some of the meanings, there's deeper truths than we sometimes realize. The benefits of being humble. I was reminded of again by inspiring video by John St. Julian. I sure like to talk to that guy someday, but he was reminding the reminder I received from him is the way to follow, to be a child of God, to be one of the moment in loving awareness, without expectation, without worry, to be lovingly aware, awaiting the divine inspiration and the divine actions, the divine movements to bring us forth. So I'm here today. I chose to follow the schedule I created. I chose to continue this path for me to try and serve, to try and share. And so today my goal for myself is to be humbly present. And the fellowship, the link to join is pinned to the top for those who may feel comfortable. I'm just kind of going with the flow today. I was curious, the thumbnail, we had some fun with that though too. And oh yeah, oh no, what's up, Cynthia? You weren't on that one. It was the other version. I'm curious today if well, I'll admit today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic, and I'm curious if young Polly boy will swing by, either while he's still doing his show or later. But I look forward to having different conversations with people. And I was thinking, if I approach things right, maybe under the right conditions, well, then maybe a safe conversation could be had and shared. And then who knows what could happen. Blessings, Queen of Swords, and Rebecca Joe, you are right. Man, I've watched this happen with me before. This analogy was reminded to me elsewhere, but it's like the old Charlie Brown things, I'm I'm coming up and Lucy's holding the ball. I'm coming up, hitting go live in a good mood, jolly bee. No, Jack, YouTube says no. I'm gonna bounce through all of it today. That's my goal. Um, ain't nobody got time for that. Safe conversation. I know, man. Humans, egos, what we are, we're so fixed and in a hurry. We brag about trying to do a number of things incompetently, but we get them done. Multitasking is what we call it. Um, this is what I reminded myself of recently is, okay, here's where I'm at. I I follow the way of Jesus. I truly believe that instruction is the way. There's something special about all that. And why did I start with that qualifier? There's a purpose to where I was going with that. Golly geez. Hey, hugs to everybody, man. There are some downers around us, aren't there? Try to drag people down. I try to float in the wind. Hey, welcome, Moose. Dude, growing in, looking good.
Thank you. Thank you.
How you doing?
Am I echoing?
No, it sounds good actually.
All right, cool. Yeah, I had an interview with my niece, and I took it off the offline because she's younger or whatever, but uh, she's only like 10 years old, dude, and bro, she's got this whole like interview thing down. She wasn't nervous. She was like she was talking to the camera. She had the microphone in her hand. She was having a good old time. And where's your mom? Yeah. I don't know. Say hi, Mr. Talcott. Just say hi. Who is it? Anyways, we're not gonna bother the show with our antics. I just wanted to say, don't let anybody bring you down today. People are always trying to bring you down, and I notice it. And they're not just trying to bring you down; they're trying to bring me down, and they try to say it's for the greater good, but we all know it's something different. Peace, love, and cupcakes for all.
Hey, respect. Thanks, Moose. I appreciate you joining, man. Um, yeah, if anyone is welcome to join. I hope that is my purpose is to share fun today. Open it up for fellowship. I'm actually here. I challenge anyone. If you're willing, honest and willing, if you're available here, it's not a huge audience, but to join me in this experience, my experience. What we see a lot of people trying to do, the Debbie Downers, and maybe in your own social life, in your family, maybe you got some Debbie Downers, some real Eeyores, just nothing good about life, trying to share their disappointment and their misery, their fears. There's a lot of those people in the world, the Debbie Downers. Why did I start down this? It was something I was saying. I know this doesn't look good, stumbling on the thoughts, but I'm not going to fake it and then lead to more confusion either. Those people wanting to bring us down, to bring the lightness down to their levels so it can be tolerated. We get to allow the dim for as much as we want. I mean, I can get down and ugly too. I can pull out the angry God and just face to face. And, that stuff is fun once in a while. But the point is instead of allowing ourselves to drop down, we can, I know there's ways, and it doesn't work every time, but we can help raise others up. We can help raise them from the misery, the depression, the the fear, the anger. We don't want to dismiss those feelings because to those people, they're real. But we certainly don't want to enable. I paused for a moment. I didn't pause. I paid attention earlier. I joined a different panel, Chaotic Truth. He does some great discussions. He leans particularly more conservative in many ways than I do. But he hosts open panels, and some of the conversations that were being had over there brought some thoughts to my mind. The problems we have here in the world, what we've got. I realized this a long time ago. It's enabling. Okay. We think we're being kind, we're being compassionate when we overlook people's stupidity, self-harm. Yeah, I suppose there's some level to be done with that. I mean, there's certainly something to be said about having grace, just allowing people to be who they are, how they are, and whatever. I understand that. However, whether we like it or not, we do influence each other. And we can influence each other in good ways or bad. And, how we influence each other depends on where we bring ourselves. Where do we place ourselves? And I mean, that's kind of where I was at earlier. I'm trying to branch out to other conversations in different communities. So we can all do that. We can all push ourselves into different places, maybe where we don't quite fit in, but for two reasons. So we can understand them better. And if that group is wrong, we can help them perhaps consider different thoughts. But what I see happening in America is people are so quick to divide, so quick to find a reason to part ways and say, no, you're not with me. And if you're not with me, you're against me. And all this other crap. And it's like, we do it based on politics, based on gender, based on color, based on anything we can imagine, dude. And then if you even hear someone say something about something, oh, they're different from me, I'll never talk to you again. People are bizarre. You know what? Sometimes people are hard to love, but then other times they're quite easy to keep in mind, aren't they? I can understand that thought, Cynthia. Hard Hat's a good looking dude, man. But I don't swing that way. I don't spend a lot of time with people in my mind other than, no, I really don't. Brothers and sisters, the path of freedom. Here, let's get to something of value. The path of freedom for each of us. What does it mean to be free? Can you feel your freedom? Can you feel your freedom when it's there? Do you know when your freedom is gone? How do you know when you're free? And if you are free, what are you free from? Are you free from stuff in your head, or is there real stuff holding you down? Because most of our bondages, most of our limits and the oppression and all this stuff we fear and that we hate, most of that stuff is entirely made up. If not by someone else, then by ourselves. All of these regulations and rules that everyone's enforcing on each other, they're made up by someone else. Someone else like you and me. So I feel pretty darn free right now. I feel I don't know how to describe how I feel. It feels so good. You know that life just feels good if you just stop and take away all the imperfections and all the sorrows and pains and all the imagined stuff. If you just stop and feel it. Feel it. Life feels good. I've imagined death in the absence of life. I got a friend of mine who swears he had an experience with God where God showed him nothingness, took his consciousness into no thing, like darkness and just nothing. I've imagined that. I don't want to experience it anymore. I want to experience life and all that life has to offer to me, through me, for me, with me. Life is where it's at. It really, truly is. And, you know, while facts don't care about your feelings, I do. Whoever you are, I do care about your feelings. And I think you're foolish if you're choosing to feel afraid. Unless you got a direct causational relationship to those feelings, you're dysfunctional. It's time for you to check in and check yourself. Do a little exploration within yourself and get some understanding of those feelings. Because life is short. I know that each day the world can bring us reasons to feel pain, like physical pain, emotional pain, mental anguish. Those things are real. But in the absence of those things, man, life is glorious. It really is. It's like celebrate today. Why? Why should we celebrate? Well, because you can. So if you can, why not? Celebrate. Praise God. Good game, God. Good game. Thanks for trusting me enough to play for another day. Because while life feels good, it can end very quickly, very unexpectedly. For us and everyone we know. We don't know the last day we'll see our loved ones. We don't even know the last day we'll be able to see ourselves in the mirror. There's a lot of uncertainty to life. And, you know, those facts, they don't give a shit about your feelings. But I do. I really do. Because I can imagine a world where everybody feels good about living like I do. Nothing special, and I didn't work hard to feel good. Some might say I worked hard to avoid working. I worked hard to avoid working hard. I could say that. I'm honest about that. I don't like to work hard. I don't mind it. And I'm pretty damn proud of it when a hard job gets done. I like that feeling, but you know, if there's an easier way to do a job, I'm all about let's figure it out. Let's find the right tool, use the right tool, the right conditions, let's get her done. But why did I get off on the hard work? Hey, brothers and sisters, I'm actually having fun, and it amazes me, yet fills my spirit with delight that there's people joining, you know, at least with their consciousness, with their mind, that may be listening to me in the background, doing some stuff, getting some stuff done, but I'm sharing time with other beings, other people who I care about. Do you care about people you don't know? I used to not in my past. If I didn't know you, I didn't care. Whatever. Your life, you figure it out. It's not my problem. Right? Now, if you were someone I knew, I'd die for you. And then I realized, my division there was kind of generic, arbitrary. Really didn't have a lot of sense to it as far as who I was willing to die for and who I wasn't, especially since I was dumb, smart enough, whatever you want to call it. Found my way into the military, so I used to resent that burden, the belief that I was sacrificial, that, should the right conditions show themselves, yeah, I knew it. I was willing to die for others. Kind of resented that, actually. A shift in my perspective, though, has transformed the way I feel about life and the way I feel as alive. I mean, everything has changed within me because I had a shift. I chose, I was allowed, by God's grace, things happened and my mind shifted. And then I started practicing to make sure my mind didn't slip back into that pattern and that darkness I used to live in. And the more I pushed past my confusion and started pressing myself to have faith in being, to have faith in being me, to have faith to know that, I'm smart enough not to take myself into the stupid patterns that I used to. I'm mature enough. I know what to and what not to do, for the most part, when I pay attention. And so then the other part is even when I take myself into places where I'm not comfortable or where in the past I was not comfortable, just because I wasn't comfortable in a situation in the past doesn't mean I can't be comfortable today. And so I started pushing myself more and more in different ways, publicly, with public events and stuff. We all have our own paths. So generically, as we can push ourselves into places where in the past we may not have been comfortable, what we're doing is we're just expanding our comfort zone. Right? And eventually you can be comfortable. And I think many people might be, if they've not yet cognized it, not yet realized with clarity themselves. Most people are comfortable being themselves wherever they go. There might be a few occasions where it's not real comfortable, new crowd, new setting, new job, whatever, new expectations placed on you. That can be a little uncomfortable, but there's so many people living their lives with unrecognized fear, unrecognized anger, or maybe it is recognized. I actually had a conversation about this earlier offline. A pattern of my past, my personality type or whatever, what it was with me was smart mind, logical, very quick and sharp, and I can see things maybe that others don't as quickly see. And I've experienced that. But I would use my judgment of what I'd learned, what I saw happening, as a reason to be angry. And my anger was usually right because they were wrong or the situation was wrong. So my righteous anger, I used it as an excuse. I mean, information shouldn't make us angry, but it does. Anyway, anger was an issue that I had to deal with in my past, and I've been growing through it. I understood I was an ENFP, so I don't know. I honestly don't know. What I've come to learn, though, in my maturity, my older years, golly geez, I cannot believe, I guess I gotta accept, I have to believe. If I can't believe, that means I won't believe. 50 years is a long fucking time. I never thought I'd make it this long. Never in my life did I think I'd be this old, or did I think I'd feel this good. I sure as hell never thought I'd be sitting here talking to a camera every day. Holy crap, what happened to my life? Oh, praise God. Praise God. Oh, thank you, Browns Boy. You're kind of bringing me back to topic. Blame, aim, and resentment is a temporary roadblock. I love that, temporary. Yes. Enabling and blame. That was why I brought up CT, or that's what I was reminded of from some of the conversations. The enabling of problems is what has created a dependence. People generally, and I know there's exceptions and in varying degrees, but generally, speaking as an American here in the Western world, generally, people have a dependence on the government, on the structures of commerce and everything, which we do. Our dependence has created the illusions of power. We've been enabling the divisions. All of us have. All of our divisions. There's no reason that our communities are not communicating better, neighbors to neighbors. There's no reasons families don't communicate better. There's no reason that families and communities don't communicate better with the government. There's no reason. Logically, all there is excuses. Excuses. Excuses justify our blame justifies our excuses. Next thing you know, we got people in government, in corporations, people censoring people. We got such an imbalance here on earth, man. It is absolutely illogical. It's unhealthy. It's chaotic. It's inefficient. Brothers and sisters, if humanity comes together, when humanity gets out of its egoic patterns, I'm going to swing a whole bunch of things back here. When humanity gets out of their egoic patterns of arrogance, this belief that we can lie and cheat one another, this crap that we can hurt or harm one another. This is nonsense. When humanity gets out of their egoic ways with humility, see, it's within the humble. I think it's within the humble that compassion is truly known. And compassion, to quote St. John Julian, compassion silently sits above it all. Compassion is the force that unites. Compassion is what we are. Until we are compassionate beings, until we consciously, intentionally deny ourselves and the other. We deny ourselves compassion, the unity, the shared experience, the shared understanding, the shared moment, the shared life, the shared connection. Compassion is what our world has been lacking. Compassion is what brings forth mercy. Through compassion and mercy, we can find forgiveness. Forgiveness for ourselves, forgiveness for each other. And then with that, man, without the burdens of hate, regret, shame, without those burdens weighing us down, we can feel the peace of freedom, the peace of absence of conflict, the absence of bond, right? Because if we're intent that someone's harmed us, we insist they deserve to be punished and blah, blah. You got this mental, emotional bond. And that can happen just even within yourself. You can be conflicted and bonded within yourself, connected and constantly looping in conflicts, and they're not necessary. It's all imagined and made up, remembered. It's all in your mind. Because a mind that is absent of judgment and worry, without labels and definitions, a mind that is not limited with those things is unlimited. It's expansive. It's free to go wherever and however it wants. But as long as you've got yourself convinced, you've got to remember this, I remember that, and they did this, and I've got this log and this record and blah, blah, blah. Fucking let it go, man. Show yourself some compassion. Show yourself some mercy. Because when your mind is free in the moment, just now, because this is where it is. Free will is only now, right now. Now is when we get to choose. Every moment of the now we get to experience is a moment we get to choose. What are you going to choose? You got unlimited choices. Back to humility, compassion. It's the patterns of our mind, what I call the egoic conditioning, the belief in the material form of body. The patterns of that have developed us into carrying unnecessarily a lot of trauma, a lot of darkness within us. But you know what? There's a power within us that heals. There's a power within us that brings forth comfort. There's a power within us that brings joy, that brings gratitude. There's power within us that brings forth love. All of those powers, all of those things are all within each of us. Me and you, everyone. And we get to choose. Free will exists in the present. And it's only in the present that we truly live. So, what I found to be the greatest joy, and actually, I'm debating whether to bring up John St. Julian's video, because he offers his testimony as well that, here, I'll explain myself, but the conclusion I want to get to is the never-ending bliss and joy that it's serious. It's when you discover the peace and the bliss of the moment that's expressed, that's available, it's like never-ending, and it does not get boring. It doesn't get old. It's like you become yearning for the bliss of God. This world in its chaos and conditioning, the material world of wealth, celebrity, all this crap, it's got us chasing happiness, fleeting distractions, fleeting entertainment, the illusions of joy, the illusions of pleasure. Some of the pleasures are real, but those pleasures aren't always healthy. And so I explained it poorly yesterday, what Shunyamurti was talking about as well, but it's the same concept that when you tap into the bliss, the levels, and then there's varying levels, and I mean, I've experienced myself. At first I thought, oh wow, this bliss, ooh, that's bliss. It's like, holy shit, it just keeps going. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, we are here as spiritual beings. You can place your awareness, who you are, who you truly are, is your awareness of being. The awareness of being a child has grown into the awareness of being an adolescent, into the awareness of being an adult, and you're the awareness of your gender, you're the awareness of your name. Your awareness is who you are, who I am. I am the awareness of this biological form and the being and the experience that has been experienced. I am the awareness of this being, as you are the awareness of that being. But universally here, we are the awareness of being present, now, and here, wherever your now and here is. We are the awareness of being. Nothing more and nothing less. We also, within our free will, we get to direct the awareness, right? And through the direction of our awareness, it goes both ways. Our body directs our awareness, and our awareness directs our body. They're connected in this form. God's creation is so cool, man. The way we're designed is just so miraculous. It really, truly, truly is. It's like, praise God. How does this work? I mean, it's cool to know how it works, but it's not really important to know how it works, as long as you know that it works, right? Like the electricity. Do you or I, well, there may be some electricians. I don't understand electricity. I know that there's power, and I know I can flip a switch and the lights come on. And I know that it seems to always be there. And I know there's supposed to be like electrons and stuff that make that happen. I don't know intimately how it works, nor my engine of the car. I know there's combustion and pistons, and that works with gears and whatever, it works. We don't know how, we don't necessarily have to know how everything works, but we've got to trust that it works. Okay. And what I'm offering you to trust that works, I want you to trust that the power of your mind can work miracles in your life. I want you to trust that. The power of your mind can work miracles in your life. Please trust that. Okay? So if you were to take that thought with you, power of my mind can work miracles in my life. It's up to you to figure out what that means and how that works. But if you trust that it can, then it can. And by planting that seed of thought, you might be surprised. Because really, what is a miracle? I see miracles truly every day, and maybe that's it. Maybe your mind just needs the veils lifted so that you can see the miracle of life, the miracle that you see in your mirror. When you see in the mirror, do you see the miracle? You go create a human like from scratch. Go create a human out of dirt and vegetables and plants and minerals. Go create one. It's not going to happen, right? So, I don't know. I could say that arrogantly about a lot of things. Kind of irrelevant. Humility is part of the topic, though. It is important for us to be humble. The panel is open for any who do wish to join. Oh, what happened? Lost my connection to YouTube, I think. Oh, I've lost connection. I got kicked out of Google and YouTube. Sorry, coming back. Here we go. The link is pinned to the top. There's the link again for any who do want to join. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of chilling out. I think people are doing their things, but I appreciate people listening, tuning in. And you guys are, thank you to those in the chat. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't speak clear. YouTube, Google timed me out, so I had to sign in again. Otherwise, my chat wasn't going through. It's, I don't know. I'm here. And that's the breath of life. Do you feel that? I mean, within yourself, that breath of life. And then when it's gone, there's a stillness. There's a stillness that is beyond the breath. We can experience it. I encourage you, experience yourself consciously, intentionally, in the stillness. One of the breathing exercises I've learned and practiced, and this, I know this is off topic, but it's along the way, hopefully, to calm, to bring your we've got this, and again, I'm not a biologist or claim to be any sort of expert, but I know we've got these nervous systems within us, right? There's all these connections and communication strands and stuff that roll through us. And it's through these systems that our mind, our thoughts and everything, the energies, the energies can release these, trigger and release these chemicals. These chemicals flow through our body and help adjust these feelings, keeping us told when it's time to nourish ourselves, when it's time to sleep, when it's time to procreate. Well, that one's not always accurate, but none of these are always accurate. Holy cows, man. We got to learn to pay attention better and understand. I'm speaking to myself. I always am. Hey, the point is, it's really easy for us to create these patterns within us, tensions, without realizing it, mental, spiritual, physical tensions and sufferings. There's a purpose and a design behind all of it. So if you can trust that, and if you feel that there are those things within you, then it's time for you to spend some time going within and exploring, allowing the power of your mind to reveal miracles within your life. Because through the power of your mind, the power of your will, your intention, your determination, your conviction, when you purposefully go within to know, where is my tension? How can I let it go? How can I release it? What am I not noticing? What am I still carrying? What is its purpose? Go within yourself and ask yourself questions. Spend some time with yourself as though you care about yourself. Exploring honestly, with intention, with compassion, and some curiosity, and have fun with yourself. Maybe that's another approach. If you can have fun interrogating yourself. So why are you feeling like a weakling? Why are you feeling like a wussy, Jack? I do that with myself. I'm not very nice with myself sometimes. 2 lenses. Please feel free. I'm not sure what you mean by 2 lenses. Welcome to all of you guys. For anyone to know the complexities of these bodies and how it all works together and not realize the Creator is beyond me. I think part of our human ego, part of the human arrogance that we get to grow through, is how much we take for granted. Honestly, we learn of something, then we think we know all about it. There's been studies on this. I brought it up before. The Dunning-Kruger effect is one I'm familiar with, but it makes sense, though, too, in the greatest scope of things. Our God, our loving Creator, infinite in its design capacity. And here's something else. When I say the word God, if you've got to limit the description of it, go bigger, go greater, go whatever, okay? Because I can't imagine a limit or the God of our creation is beyond the creation itself. The creation itself is from the atomic to the universal. I mean, it's just scale and magnificence. The order is perfection. And the intelligence of the Creator, the artistry of the Creator is revealed through the creation. Well, from my life, I've only experienced here on Earth. I've been around the world, so they say, and traveled a lot of places, but I only know this world from Earth and from the experience of a white guy who looks like me. My awareness of the world is kind of small and finite. But the point is, there is an absolute perfection to it all. To the world and nature, the way life and death happens, growth and decay, it's perfection in its order. Our bodies, the intelligence that operates our bodies, so the heart's always in rhythm and the breathing matches the feelings and the need. And then, you know, all these balances of nutrition. I know my nutrition could be better. I'll just say that. But these bodies like to operate. You can give them cardboard, I think, and they fucking find a way to, well, we do. You eat some cardboard, you're going to poop it out eventually. It's the way these things work. Or just, the point is, there is such a creator. There is such a magnificent to the life. The two lenses, respect versus not having respect. I think that's what you were saying. Gratitude, well, the egoic arrogance. Our ego, our arrogance will blind us from having respect, and respect will keep us from finding gratitude. Gratitude and respect, man, those things go together. And blessings. Respect to the chat, man. Gratitude and respect, I think they go together. They really do. But life can be binary. Life kind of is binary, actually. It is. It's duality. You're either right or you're wrong. It's life or death. We're going to make it or not. Whatever. I figured that out a long time ago. 50-50, man. Whatever. Fucking life. Who knows what it's going to bring? So roll with it. Roll with it, because what are the odds? You might be right. What if you're right? You could have a greater life than you've ever imagined just by allowing yourself to change. Let me say that again. What if you could have a better life than you've ever imagined just by allowing yourself to change? Doesn't mean you have to change. It doesn't mean you whatever. It means you get to do whatever you want. So if you're not living the life of your dreams, what is stopping you? What actions can you take today to move you closer towards that realization? What can you do today to bring forth the experience that you want? The world wants us to be afraid. The world wants us to be unsatisfied, discontented, wants us, well, there's people in the world that want a lot of different things, but brothers and sisters, if you come into the spiritual dimension about God and the devil, and the world has been ruled by the devil, by the fallen. Do we want to serve the fallen? Do we? Do we want to stay trapped in this world of limitations and lack, where fear is profitable, where wars make people money? Do we want to stay in that world? I know. I want to serve the Lord of light and love, the one who is eternal, the one who is eternally present, eternally aware, eternally conscious. I want to serve that Lord, the Lord of light and life. And I think one of the best teachers mankind may have been gifted was the teachings of Jesus, Yeshua, the Christed one. You know, his teachings were important. I didn't realize in my past the importance of those teachings. Because frankly, in my life, I don't think I met a lot of people who actually understood the teachings. I can still say I know many people who don't actually understand the teachings for themselves, and I'm no expert. but I certainly have been learning. And I'm very grateful to have been learning, because this is what I've learned. God has not given us a spirit of fear. There is a spirit of fear. We can choose it. But God has given us a spirit of love and power and of a strong mind. And there will be times in your life, I've experienced myself, you're going through life and all of a sudden there's like a new information, new twist, new shift that totally rocks your world. And your mind will feel confused and you can feel in the dark. And, it's like the whole world, everything crumbles out from under you and your mind just feels this chaos. But within you is a power of a strong mind, far more infinite, far more intelligent than you've realized yet. That's what I learned for myself. Oh yeah, and Tommy's going live later too, right? I think. What I have found for myself, honestly, truly, the way to know God the Father is through love. Jesus showed us love, the love of man. Willing to die so that others may know the truth about God, about God's love for man. Through the actions and choices, the teachings of that book, that message, the Bible, what Jesus showed was the actions of the Father. The Father, through Jesus's choices, not the choices of those asshats who murdered him or who beat him, not through their choices, but through his choices, his sacrifices, willing to give everything for the truth. That was love. And in the end, he offered mercy. Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. In his state, rather than judge, rather than be resentful, shameful, he chose mercy. Mercy comes from compassion. Compassion and mercy are what this world, for whatever reason, we've been denying it. We've been denying ourselves and each other mercy and compassion. Why? Because we want to feel good and angry. We want to get up, go to bed angry. We want to be pissed off, have an excuse, go hit a drink. Oh, it's fun to laugh at myself. I know others like laughing too. Hey, good to see you, Steve. All may join, please. All may join. Jesus equals Satan's, some say. You're right. It doesn't win the war, but it certainly sets the stage of battle. And that's the way I actually take that example for my meaning, is that is the example of a leader that I hope to honor. The battle was not won. It was started. Some might say, but you know what? The war of truth is here. We are part of this. We can choose. Are we going to play our part each day? Are we going to serve the Lord of truth, that which is true, or are we going to serve the Lord of lies, father of manipulation, that which brings curses, destruction, torment, sorrow. No, we don't want to deal that stuff, man. We got enough of that stuff in the world. We can honor each other. We honor ourselves best when we honor the truth. You know, when we speak truthful words, when we do what we say we're going to do, when we say what we're going to do. Oh, there may be another connection there. I'm not sure. Saying and doing, they are two different things, but it's up to each of us to prove ourselves right. Amen. Why such denial of compassion? It is easier to blame outward than to take responsibility and change. I would challenge, it appears easier. It appears easier to blame rather than to take responsibility and change. And it's fucking scary. It's scary to take responsibility and change and to stop blaming others for your misery. Because that means you got to admit you were wrong. And if you were wrong, man, that's going to fracture your image of yourself. Oh my God, what might people think if you were wrong? Oh, life is over. I remember those thoughts. But here's the press back. It appears easier to blame, but once you stop blaming and you accept accountability, responsibility, you become whole, no longer fractured, no longer trying to remember the details or the excuses. You become free. And man, once you find freedom, I won't say what you will do, but I have judged myself in shame and regret that I didn't choose to change sooner. I could have changed a long time ago. Today I'm focused on change. I embrace change. I look forward to it, man. Change is where it's at. Change is change is life. Life is growth. Growth is change. That's all connected. So we can hate change, fear change, become afraid of life, which I used to do. I don't mean to mock those who are, but we call it a fear of death. We're lying. We're not afraid of dying. We're afraid of living. I just don't want to live wrong anymore. I got tired of living with regret. So now I say yes to life. If an opportunity comes up in life, I say yes to life. Whatever can make me greater, grower, greater experience. Everything we practice gets easier. It looks easier. It's not. It's an illusion. Self-denial is the epitome of cognitive dissonance. Yes. And this is where I'm talking about. We live in a world of enablers. People live in denial, and it's real easy to find echo chambers that just, sympathize with our excuses and our blame. And that is the biggest problem we've got. Thank you, Somewhere in Time. Impossible to digest separation. Separation feels real. It really, really does. I know that. Accepting when you're wrong feels good. When we do feel that growth, after we get through our shame and our humility, we've done the damage, made the repentance, the contrition, we've done what we need to do to feel whole. It does feel good. It feels good to be free of the burdens. And the reality is, all of us make mistakes. It's okay that we make mistakes. It's not okay to not forgive. And yeah, whatever we choose to practice, we get better and better at. So choose wisely in your practice. Yes. Make your first practice being being wise with your choices, being wise with your practices. Make that the first practice. Mindfulness. Well, I like what you're saying, man. I know, I've been kind of going on. Anyone is welcome to jump in if you want. Where are we at? I think I'm getting caught. Degrees, amen. See, there are, yes, between every opposite, they have a pattern. They're identical. There's every opposite has the words are escaping. They're identical in nature, varying by degree, something like that. But yes, everything is separated by degrees. Degrees are just variances. Variances are subtleties. Subtleties and distinctions. Those keep us separated from the things we want. Low-level human is unconscious and harmless. I got off here. Yeah, I'm curious. Is Nude Guru commenting good stuff in the nude? Is he practicing the image? Is there nudeness in your guruing from the comments? Oh my goodness, man. Today is a blessing. What did I miss here? That doesn't do any good. I'm not sure. We've got someone calling in here. Welcome, Dave. How you doing, brother? Wait, you're muted.
There we go. Okay. Hi, Jack. How you doing?
Doing good. Welcome.
Good. Yeah, I just tuned in like 10 minutes ago, and I'm going to be heading out in about 5 minutes. But I hear your theme and like where you're going with everything, and I have a couple of things just to like insert just for the fun of it.
Please.
But first, I'd like to say I don't know you very well. I've said hi maybe a few times in the chat, but I like the way that you handle hostile panels, and I've seen you on a number of them. And sometimes I don't know how you do it, but it's like a stability and almost like a reflection. Like shoot something at me, and you hold the mirror up, and there you go. So I like that, how that's going. But what I'd like to say about, like you were saying about life decisions and stuff like that, I know of two philosophies. One was from a self-healing instructor named David Beamer, who has passed on. Actually, both of them have passed on. Who has passed on, and the other one you've probably heard of is Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yeah, both of these fellows. Well, anyways, with Dr. Wayne Dyer, his philosophy was pretty simple. He never said God. He always said source, but he was talking about God. He never, that I know of, ever said religion or God or anything like that. But his simple philosophy is make every decision, big or small, align with like your path and your goal. Pretty simple.
It is.
Pretty simple. And I've kind of installed that to the best I can, but we're all, it's like you said with diet, you're gonna eat that cake once in a while, and it's call it a self-failure or whatever, or just whatever you want to call it. And the other fellow, Dr. Beamer, I really like Dr. Beamer. I took his class twice. It was self-healing, and it was really good. And he had all kinds of drills and mental exercises and different things to like manifest and things like that. And one of the things he said that when it hit me, when he said it, it hit me, and I thought, wow, that is really a good technique, and it's not that hard. He said to project yourself a year in the future. Like say this month, this day, next year, turn around and look back at yourself sitting there a year ago. Just look at him and go, well, I'm really glad that you decided to do this, or I'm glad you decided to not do this. And just have a talk with yourself. And your actions put me where I am today, for better or worse. And it just helps like calibrate the whole thing. And those are like the 2 points I wanted to like hit you with, beside that compliment on how you handle those hostilities.
Thank you, Dave. Much
All right.
respect. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love the simplicity of what you offered. The do the next right thing for your purpose and path, something like that, right? And
Yeah, and it's the same as saying avoid negativity and seek the light. And it's
yeah,
our hand is on a dimmer switch all the time. We're going to turn it light, or we're going to turn it dark all the time.
that's
All the time.
it. And the oh, doggone it. You said the other one too was
The exercise of looking back a year.
oh, thank you. Yes. One of my first coaches, he recommended 3 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years in the future, but I took similar practice. His suggestion was a longer time, because our minds are smart. It can think quickly in a year, saying, well, all these excuses, I'm going to be in this limited spot, but that's not the point of what you were offering. What I did was a 3 to 5 year, and thinking big. Think really big about what could be, and then find that first step. And along the lines of a different way of what you just offered too, is I heard an exercise, taking yourself mentally to an end of life review. Going not just a year or a couple years, but clear to the end, and trying to look back and see where you're at. Because even the different perspective that way can change the way we look at things in the distant past as well. So
yeah, I can't be specific, but I very recently did that and made a big decision that, in my view and how I feel, is going to allow me to eventually RIP. I went all the way to the end, and I'm like, what do I want to see when I move on? And I've made a decision, and I think it's really a good one. I just hope it is.
Dave, if you're here with me here and now, I'm confident you're on your right path, because I feel like I'm on the right path, and I respect everything you're offering, brother. I honor that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and anyways, I just wanted to hop on quick and say hi, and kind of like break in the chair in your room here. The soft chair that you have next to your fireplace. Okay, so I'm gonna get going and see you all.
Respect. Thanks
Bye-bye.
again for joining, Dave. I appreciate that. And should anyone else feel like joining, feel free. Go ahead and click the link, join on up. I thought those were some great tips. It's in line with what I've learned for myself, and what I've been trying to offer in my own ways. Our minds, the patterns of our insecurities, they can really get in our way. Our insecurities can totally trip us up. So if we can, have some sort of idea, we don't have to have clarity, full clarity on what we hope in the future, but if you can have a general idea, then from wherever you're at today, knowing the general idea that you want, seeing yourself today, just find that first step. And sometimes that first step is the scariest step, right? But this too, finding the dream goal and then bringing yourself back. What's the first achievable goal? What's my near term growth that I can anticipate, I can move into? Sometimes those first steps are scary, because when we've been who we are, the patterns of who we are and the social groups we've found ourselves around, when we've been in those comfort zones and those ruts for a while, man, anything besides that can sound terrifying, right? Be afraid to be different. It can be scary to do anything. But you know what? That's part of life. And this world has conditioned us to live with fear, to live with hate, to live with judgment, to live with contempt, regret, all of this other nonsense. All of that other nonsense I'm talking about are symptoms of fear, regret, and hate, and judgment, and disgust, the racism, all of this stuff. It's all fear. Our Creator is an amazing, amazing friend to know. That was something he brought up. That was one thing I probably could have paid closer attention to with Wayne Dyer, but I think he was right. Source is what he used. And I used to resonate most with source as well. I had my own stumbling with the word God. Source was acceptable to me because there is a source of all creation. It's just logical, right? I'm a man of logic. It's got to make sense. Fascinating. Looked like I froze there. I think I'm back. There we go. New internet service, and it is what it is. Oh, where was I? Oh, thinking about logic and reasoning. I realized today, I actually wrote it out, and it just made sense. What I have been doing. Welcome, my brother.
Hello, Jack Talcott, sir.
I am glad to see you.
I'm
Hey,
glad to be here.
I think you might appreciate this. Actually, I was looking at myself trying to understand what it is, simplify what it is I've been doing. What helped me the most? Number one, I am a rational, very structured in my mind. That's the way I think. I intellectualize things. I've been rationalizing emotions. I understand, meaning I've been consciously trying to identify the logical patterns of emotions. They make perfect sense. They follow an order.
I'm glad you
And
understand that, Jack.
what's that?
I'm glad you understand that.
I'm learning how actually clear and obvious it is. This world we are living in, my friend. Yes. I love this, having Jack and Simple Jack.
I can't wait till Neurojack enters the
I
show.
know, huh? Neurojack, and there's a couple other Jacks around here too. Did you ever see Jack Harlow?
The musician?
He was an interesting character on the Unslaved platform for a while.
Oh.
He's a nice, interesting young man, but another Jack. Anyway, the logic of emotions, they follow patterns. And the topic I was discussing earlier, I've kind of already touched on it today, is the patterns for forgiveness, because it seems forgiveness will be a big part of our world's healing. Forgiveness is a very important practice for people.
Forgiving ourselves and others. It goes both ways. That's what I'm learning, Jack. It's literally a balance between good and evil, not a you go to good and then, or you're evil. It's a balance of both. That's just what
It
it's got to
is.
be. Yeah. So
It
if
is.
you have to forgive somebody, then there's something inside yourself you also need to forgive.
Here's something I recognized, and I think I heard it from someone else, but it makes sense. When we've got that feeling that we need to forgive someone, in other words, we've been hurt, felt wronged, they are wrong.
Not heard
Well,
correctly.
yeah, whatever it is, we have to forgive our judgment of them, and then we need to recognize our punishment of ourself. We hurt ourselves based on our opinion, based on our expectation. That's the word. The expectation is what brings the judgment, and then the judgment will bring our hate, our anger. So we got to forgive them and ourselves for hurting ourselves or allowing ourselves to be hurt.
That's one of the things I am still working on is false expectations, setting a standard to somebody that they don't even know it existed.
Yep. We're all guilty of it. I
Mm-hmm.
think we are, man. So the fact that you're aware of it and you're looking at it, that's, dude, you're well ahead of many of our peers. Many people lack this self-awareness, and I'm speaking from experience. I was guilty.
Yes,
But
I'm almost reached level 9,000, Jack.
you're at what? You're
Almost level 9,000 in the gamer code. I'm almost level 9,000, guys. Watch out. And what's up, Cynthia? Thanks for sharing my link.
yes, thank you. What's anything new going on with you, brother? Today I hope I feel good. I've monologued for a while. I hoped to share some encouragement and inspiration, but really today I'm just chilling out. If you got time to chill out, I'm welcoming you.
Yeah,
Fellowship.
so what's up? The other day, that includes this morning because it rolled from last night to this morning. I was able to participate on one of our friends' shows. If you don't mind me shouting out to Machine
Please.
Lies.
Oh,
Yeah, Machine Lies had a great show last night. We talked about all kinds of things, spiritually, history, economics, personal stuff. It was great. It was great. And so I was able to learn a lot from that. And I learned about Machine Lies that he writes books. And I ordered my first book for myself. Like I've ordered comic books. You know what I mean? I don't think I've actually really purchased a book for myself. So that's on order. I got a confirmation today that a Machine Lies book is on. It's been expected between December 7th and 8th. So shout out to
very
Machine Lies.
cool.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with me. I'm gonna check out the book and see what's going on over there in his opinion about philosophy. He said I should enjoy chapter 3.
Very cool, dude. That's awesome. You're another great guy as far as encouraging, supporting, sharing encouragement and support with others. That's cool of you. I have not checked out his book, but I am a fan of the Machine Lies. His knowledge of philosophy and stuff is I admire. I'm impressed.
Well, I had to pull it out of him. You know what I mean? First, he said that he wrote the book, and I was like, well, maybe you could share the link. And right before I left, it's like, bro, you gotta share that link. You know what I mean? So maybe we got 2 copies sold. That'd be sweet. I bought one, and I think somebody else was asking for the link. So support to Machine Lies. And then Jack, I don't know if you noticed today, but your show had a new guest and made an impact in the world today. Just a heads up. If you didn't recognize that, I just wanted to point that out that your show did have an impact on somebody today. The gentleman that was just
Thank
up.
you. Thank
Yeah, the
you.
gentleman that was just up.
Yes. Thank you. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing things. We are impacting the world, and that's what it's all about. I think we all want the better world. We all do. Can we believe it? Can we receive it? That's the question and the challenge. Because if we can believe it and if we think we can receive it, well, then it becomes a task of making it happen. That's what our goals are about. And I'm not just for you, but for who's tuning in. Goals, man. Goals are where it's at. But our goals can create these burdens of expectations on ourselves. And that's actually, I think, why a lot of people may shy away from goals. Different ways. Everyone learns different ways. Let me remind myself of that. But if you can look at life as an adventure, as a game, right? We are the characters in our own game. We didn't create the game. We're in the game, and we can be observers and critics. We can sit on the sidelines and complain, or we can get out there and get her done. But it's a big world. What are we going to do?
And like most games, there are games that are solo games like golf, but you cannot deny this is a game of teams. You got to choose a team. You know what I mean? And I really hope someone who is I hope people find their teams wherever it may be. I just hope you find your team. And that helps connect somewhere in you because I know what it feels like to be not part of a team and alone and trying to figure out this world by yourself. And it's just like there's too much. There is way too much going on. There's way like so being a part of a team helps.
Yes, and.
Oh, interesting. Let me know, Jack.
Yes, and well, what you said, I learned the value of teams a long time ago, and it really became noticeable when my teams were gone, right? You learn what you had once it's gone, type of thing. Well, in retrospect and analysis, it's really easy to see the benefits of teamwork. You get some support structure around you. You yourself are more inclined to be bigger, to take bigger steps, bigger risks. And when you don't have a team, it's real easy to get into a narrow-minded, fear-based state about, all the worries and obligations that you've got to remember, you've got to take care of. Teamwork is where it is at. Teamwork is all about relationships. I was coaching my mom. Not really. We were talking. She got a new job at work. She's a manager, a boss. And I'm just reminding her, hey, the role of a boss is as a leader. And leaders serve. And the way you serve your employees is to make sure they are comfortable in the job they're doing. Make sure they have the knowledge, the support, the resources. And then when your employees have everything they need and they have the freedom to shine, dude, that raises everything up. With the right people, teamwork and leadership is where it's at. You work with a lot of teams. Do you have a team directly with you when you're professional?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm good at providing the tools they need. I just need to be better at providing the support they need.
I kept forgetting. I kept meaning to come back to you, give you a call sometime.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere, Jack. So when the time happens, it'll happen.
Hey, amen. Hey, Gen X Jeff, that's true too. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's the thing. When you get the right team and you're focused on, you got some clarity on the purpose, everyone's working together cohesively, man, it is fun and things get done. You get a team together that's all selfish and want to do things their own way, it turns into a friggin' nightmare. Like some of these panels, man, herding cats trying to have a conversation. It's just wow, all over the place.
Well, that's why I mentioned earlier. In 10 years, I might not be here because there's someone who is a better asset, not necessarily asset, a better team member who can help you move towards the direction you're going. And I understand there might be somebody better out there. But until then, I'm going to be part of this team until I get drafted out. There's only 10 spots, you know.
Whatever. Hey, the other part of being a leader, though, and I don't know if this is the same, it should be the same in any profession. You should always be training your replacement. Who's going to come in and take your spot to do better than you? And then where are you going to grow into?
It's tough, Jack. That's all I know. I see this next generation. They don't want to put in the effort. It's interesting. It's hard to train this next generation, but it's fun learning the ins and outs and how to work with them. It's definitely a challenge, though.
Each generation is bringing different ideas because they've learned, they got a different perspective, coming in a little more fresh rather than buying into the same old traditions and stuff. This, I agree. Cooperation is what the ruling class, for lack of clarity, I mean, the successful people have found ways to move beyond their opinions of each other, and when there's a job to get done, they work together, they get it done. And to protect themselves in the ruling positions, yep, they work together to keep the working class and the the controlled, keep us separated, trying to figure out how to do it. When we come together, when we figure out how to unite, we're not going to put up with this nonsense of authority and wealth keeping us apart. We're going to get together and figure out, all right, what are the resources? What are the talents? What are the challenges? What are we going to do to get this done? And imagine if we did that collectively towards solving the many problems people are facing. If we collectively came together, all the talent and ingenuity of people, and we stopped with the selfishness and the excuses, we say, okay, at this time in this community, these are the resources available, publicly and privately. The private decides what they're willing to offer and share, but for the goal, how are we going to get people off the streets? Winter is coming. How do we make sure that everyone has a shelter? And then when they have a shelter, now that they're in a place where they can be met with or met at, how do we provide the services, and how do we bring the healing to the community? Because none of the communities want to deal with the trash and the stuff that happens from dirty humans. I don't know. I'm all about that.
No, I love it. I love it, Jack. I wish you could write all this stuff down and make a book and see what comes up with and what your society would look like complete. Figuring out all the ins and outs. Yeah, I think putting it down on paper is going to help establish it.
There's others who have. Have you heard of, the Zeitgeist movies? You familiar with those yet?
If you named out titles, I probably watched them. I didn't know if they were Zeitgeist movies, but yeah, I probably watched them.
That's what it's called, Zeitgeist, by Peter Joseph. Peter Joseph, I got his book upstairs. It's a very dry read, but it's tons of data, tons of source about the problems of our world and ways to overcome. But the Zeitgeist films, those are good watching. I mean, hey, if a mod down there is familiar, if you able to pull it up, otherwise I may bring it up later, but they're good. They're worthy of watching. It presents an overview of, well, how wealth and corruption have how wealth and influence have corrupted many of the systems and many of our ways of life. Because, and it's not to bring blame, it's to bring awareness. That's the whole thing.
No, that's all it is. Yeah, like, yeah, that makes sense. It's not blaming anybody, Jack. And I feel bad for people who put you in that boat of blame. You know, that's just ignorance. You're just trying to help enlighten these people. With knowledge that that works, that's worked through history, and then help them personally if there is a spiritual spot that they need to fill. So no, I can't believe how materialistic this world is, and I'm so glad I'm learning to let go of these materialistic things, and I hope everybody else does, because boy, life is so much easier. You don't need an iPhone 14. You know what I mean? As long as you had a phone from the year before and it works, you don't need the next phone.
Honestly, that was one of the greatest choices I made for myself, was when I faced my attachment to the material. How accustomed I'd got to my way of living, the house, the neighborhood, the car, the paycheck. And then I realized I was working a job that I did not like. Matter of fact, I felt dead inside often just going to work, because my talents weren't being used. I wasn't anything more than just filling a hole, right? Just a cog in the wheel, and I felt dead. Oh, hold, hey, whoa, no, I'm pushing back against this one. Capitalism is not a necessary evil. Capitalism is, in this form that we know of our economy today, capitalism is evil. Period. It rewards selfishness. It profits from division. It profits from oppression, extortion. Here, anyone who wants to actually intellectually discuss capitalism, please.
Yeah, I find it a very interesting concept. I understand where it came from, but I just don't understand how it got so bad. It's so bad, dude. We throw away. We like. I think you tell me, pointed out. We waste so much. We waste so much resources, but I guess it isn't. I don't know, but I think it's a waste of resources. So
It's, oops. Yeah. Capitalism is what drives economy. If you look in the terms of economy being only money, you are correct. So if you limit your definition to only a tool that's used for economy, you're right. But I see an economy actually as a greater picture. The concept of an economy is the distribution of resources. Capitalism gums up the distribution of resources because everyone wants to hoard the tool of money. Money is the tool that makes capitalism work. Where I'm at, I'm not ignorant either. I'm not one who blames, but in other words, I know the benefits that capitalism has brought forth and everything that it's created. It's done some wonderful things for us in the past.
you know what's sad about capitalism? In order to escape it, you have to use it. And if you don't use it, then life's tough.
Yes and no. Hey, welcome, Montagraph. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Monograph.
Not bad. I did want to set the record straight. You had a woman in here the other day by the name of Denise Matu. She's running her mouth about me, making wild claims about Mitt Romney, making wild claims about some sort of cult or this or that, the other. I'm setting the record straight to you right now. Back in 2015, She assaulted me online and made a bunch of cockamamie nonsense about something to do with her daughter. I have nothing to do with her daughter. I told her that, and she's furious that she was doxxed and located that quick. Got her right down to an inch of where she sat, called her landlord, tried to have her evicted. And I'm telling you right now, Denise Matu, you start your shit with me now, I'm going to hit you with paperwork and I'm going to sue the living crap out of you. So be on notice, all you jerk-offs. They're making all these wild claims and blocking me and not allowing to have my say. Take notice.
Montagraph, thank you. You've offered your presentation, and I'm not sure the relevance. Or maybe it happened here, and maybe this was just an.
It did happen here. I have the recording, sir.
Fair enough. So Montagraph, we don't really know each other. I don't know if we've even met. So
I've met you electronically. I know a lot about you, sir.
Okay, well then the pleasure of meeting you is mine today. So, here's something I know. I don't know what you do and don't know about me, but I am a very spiritual man, one who has faith that things happen for a reason.
I'm not attacking you, sir. I'm just saying. I looked into you. Believe me.
Thank you. What I'd like to also offer to you, though, is a man who understands emotions. And you're coming up here prepared to defend and possibly attack, because here's another thing. Denise has joined. I don't really want to turn this into an argument, but if there is an opportunity for resolve, do you think that's
there is no, excuse me. Hey, to interrupt. Her daughter killed herself because Denise Matu is a horrible mother, and it was right there.
Whoa.
Yeah, you just gotta breathe on that one, Jack. Sorry he didn't want to participate in our conversations.
Well, here's the thing. My heart still cares. Okay, there's obviously some personalities here, very interesting. It's been interesting, some of this stuff that's come up over the past week, but I have both here, and I am a man who loves to try and resolve.
I want to ask Marty if he celebrates Thanksgiving and how it went.
Well,
but if you want to try doing that, I'll go to the back room. I don't want to be part of the drama.
Tell you what, blessings. I'm going to put you in the back just for a moment. Thank you, Simple Jack. That's probably the wisest thing I can do. Montagraph, please. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I do want to. I want you to recognize, all right? We're here in the present. Can we allow the past to be the past, and with restraint and civility, can we try and figure out what to do from here? Because Denise is in the back. I'm not going to bring this into. This is not my life experience, but I'm here. What do you think?
Excuse me. I have not done anything to this woman for years. She's furious that I had her YouTube channel, her primary YouTube channel, just taken right off the net. And I did, and I'm really proud of it too. And I took down numerous channels of her. She has lied about me over and over and over again. I'm sick of it. Okay, I ain't gonna tolerate it. Her daughter killed herself because she's a horrible mother. It was in her own diary. Stop blaming me for the death of your daughter.
Okay, so I've not witnessed these claims against you. Okay, I understand this is going on, but I'm seeing some patterns here. Can I be honest with you? Actually,
can I speak?
Denise, please.
May I speak?
Please do.
Please. First of all, you're not going to believe me. He's going to accuse me of lying, but I didn't even see him jump on your panel. I was actually intending to talk about the capitalism thing. So the other stuff that he's saying, it does not belong here. He wants to, this whole situation is trying to draw your channel. If you notice, the first time I appeared on your channel, it was to talk about lucid dreaming. And it was after you had invited me. You forgot about it. But in Machine Lies, you had invited me to come over. And when I came over, I wanted to talk about lucid dreaming. And a different troll jumped up and started screaming. I did not bring my personal family issues or any of that here. And this man here, I will not address in your channel because it's your channel and he is derailing it and hijacking.
All right. So both of you are, I'm going to be honest. I don't know either of you, so I can be blunt and rude.
Yeah.
But you guys are both presenting kind of childish.
You know what? We're done.
know,
I did not come in here to do this, and you are allowing it, and we're done.
Okay.
And as far as what he just said, I want you to notice one thing. He says he hasn't bothered me for years. Think about that.
Right.
Also, my landlord has the registered letter. Okay? There was a registered letter. We know what's going on. This is not, at this point, this is not your problem, Jack. You let him make your problem. I did not come here for this purpose. And I was honestly not even aware that he was on your screen.
Tell you what, Denise.
While I was coming on, Denise, I thought it was all about.
All right, so Denise, please, thank you. I'm sorry to put you in the back, but all right, you can leave. What I was going to offer is just be patient for a moment, and then maybe we can resume. So, all right.
All right, so can I calmly rebut to that, please?
Please, okay, but attacking or
I'm not attacking. I'm calmly rebutting. Can I calmly rebut what you said?
Yes, please. Yes, please do.
Okay. The fact of the matter is, she makes claim that in 2005, she filed a formal criminal complaint with the Houston Police Department. YouTube wasn't even online until February 14th of 2005. She's falsely accused me of these wild accusations. Why didn't she provide the formal police report that she filed in 2005? Hold on a second. Hold on, let me finish,
we're going back 18 years, dude. Come on,
sir,
now.
I understand that, but what I'm saying, sir, she was on your panel the other day burping my name out of her mouth, accusing me of being with some sort of cult. I'm not part of any cult. I'm not affiliated with Mitt Romney.
And I didn't buy into
this guy's cell phone numbers, but so what? It doesn't mean I'm affiliated with him.
I understand. There's
so
many.
Yes, have I called these people? Yes, I've called the Dr. Fauci at his house. I called Merrick Garland, who's in charge of the Department of Justice, at his house. I called the Christopher Ray's in charge of FBI on a cell phone. These people answer their phones because I can get their numbers. She's mad because I called her landlord and said, "Hey, listen, why is this woman using your internet to harass me online? And if you keep it up, I'll come down there and sue you."
Okay, but do you see what you're doing? Do you see what you're doing? Come on, man.
Yeah, I see what I'm doing. I see what I'm doing, Jack.
Come on. All right, hey, brother, you've got more details than I do. I respect. I don't condone. I don't understand, but I respect your freedom and your ability to choose what you feel is right for you.
Jack, let me ask you a question.
Accommodating.
Jack, let me ask you a question. Let's say somebody walked up to your Tacoma and went in your driveway and started plastering all kinds of things on the back of your truck. So when you're driving down the road, people are like, "Oh my God, Jack did what?" And you didn't even know it. Would that be okay? Just curious. Please answer the question.
I'd have no control over it, would I?
Oh, really? Well, I do have control because I can find the hardest to find, and I'll take action, and I have taken action, and I'll continue to take action.
You know what?
You have to stand up for your name, your good name, your great name, and I'm going to do it no matter what.
Montagraph here. Hold on, please. Can I bring this back to me? Can I?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. I've heard something of what you've said, and there was what you just said right there, standing up for what is true. I fucking agree with that. Okay. My entire life, my family, my reputation, my career was destroyed by false accusations. What you're describing, yeah, I didn't have bumper stickers on my truck, but I had people running around destroying my opportunities to be. So I understand this. However, please learn from me that we choose our reactions. And our reactions to get back at people are not always the best for us. All
True,
I'm saying.
that's true. And thank God I'm not a lunatic, because with my skills, oh my goodness, can you imagine?
I understand you're very skilled and passionate.
All I'm
Very
just trying to say is
creative.
I'm not crazy. So I'm dealing with these things on a legal situation, like legal torts and such, criminal complaints, right? Filing formal written complaints to corporations or whomever they may be affiliated. Listen, what if I was nuts? What if I was crazy, didn't even say a word, and somebody come up here, run their mouth? I'd be in my truck and on my way to their house. Try to use your imagination what might happen. In other words, what I'm saying is I'm not the only guy on the internet that can get you. There's tens of thousands of us.
Hey, my friend.
And not everybody deals with this like I do.
Correct.
So you better get that in your head before you start running your mouth.
Hey, for those who have been critics and oppositions of me, listen to this man's words, all right? Machine lies, my brother. He's also been a victim of some of these rampant accusations, not comparing,
it's horrible,
and certainly not to the level that you may have been dealing with. But
well, I feel for you guys, and I really do. And like the other day, Jack, you said that some guy was harassing you and making up these wild claims. And dude, I had that dude doxed in literally 3 minutes, just like that. That dude's done. I got him. I got his first name, last name, where he works, every detail about that dude.
Okay, but
does that make sense?
Well, it does, and I understand, but I want to, as a friend, as whatever, from my experience, I caution you. Okay, just because we can do this doesn't mean we should, and just because we learn things doesn't mean that.
Minute, Jack. Listen, I know you're very cool, dude. You're really very calm guy, kind of guy. You're all about the emotions, and you're all about this,
love stuff.
Basically, alternative medicines and all that. And that's cool. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, you have to stand up for your good, great name. You got to do it, because if you don't do it, no one else will. And false accusations compound and grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You see what I mean? So you have to stand up for yourself. And if you're not willing to, some people like me will step in for you on the sly in the background and maybe say, hey, this is the guy that's attacking you, that's harassing you, by the way, in an email, in a phone call. Here's his full name. Here's his last name. Here's his address. Here's his date of birth, his dental records, so that way you can take legal action against them. It's not to silence them. They already had their freedom of speech. They already said what they said. Whoa. Now it's your turn to defend the erroneous information out of their mouths. And if you don't, no one else will.
All right, brother, can I press back onto you a little bit on this? Okay. Because I get what you're saying, but the whole purpose of taking the court, bringing the trial, the information, the whole purpose is for what? So that the truth is shown. That's the whole point of that process. And I get what you're saying. Against the attacks, we feel the need to defend and argue against. Here's what I want to suggest. When we can have faith in the truth, then we allow ourselves to present the truth, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in the form of the formal process, but presenting the truth and trusting that the truth will show. I haven't faced the same accusations or the same experience as you, but our paths are different, and these are things I've learned for myself, okay?
But what I'm saying is, my very critical point is, how does a guy defend himself? How does a male, a female, or something in between defend? Anybody online can accuse you of anything they want.
Yep.
Anyone can do it, right?
Yep.
You do have a nice phone, by the way.
Yeah, we're aware.
But here's the thing. here's the thing. Like I said, if somebody plastered a bunch of notes on the back of your truck, you're driving around and here they're attacking you, but you didn't know it, it doesn't mean it's not happening, right? However, if they took those same exact things that they put on the back of your truck and they plastered all over your hood, as soon as you came out to your car, you would be enraged. I bet you would. Because now your neighbors are seeing it. Now other people that you don't know are seeing it. Now people are hearing it that you're not even aware of. Now they're piling on and accused. You see what I mean? So what are you going to do? Are you going to leave that information on the hood of your car? I bet you won't. I bet you're going to take it off. I bet you're going to try to figure out who put it there, right? That's exactly how the internet works. And if you're not willing to stand up for yourself, nobody else will, or very few people will, because they don't want to be erroneously attacked by the same bozos that pull these stupid games. I just don't tolerate it. That's why I've identified and located 465 people as of today since 2011. And I'm gonna keep doing it because people keep attacking. They make comments. Oh yeah, that guy's suspect. Ooh, this guy did it. Dude, shut your mouths unless you know. Where is this woman's evidence? It's nowhere. She's accusing Titus Frost. She's accusing Roy Potter. She's accusing all these people, Winter Moon, of all of these crimes. Where is the evidence, buddy? It's nowhere and ain't going to be nowhere because it's all fantasies. She's pissed off because we have taken down her channels. And by the way, just letting everybody know, I don't care how big your channel is and I don't care how small it is. Your channel can just disappear and we don't care what you're going to do about it.
Well,
is that a threat? No, that's a fact. Ask around. Ask around.
Right.
We don't care. All these people think they're somebody's. So what? You can just cut off the internet that quick.
Montagraph, what do you think about this comment? Because this is where I kind of land on this as well. We get a lot of verbal, intellectual attacks, a lot of egoic, people are peacocking. They want to show how tough they are hiding behind a keyboard or a screen. But unless we're actually physically threatened, and I understand too the causational between accusations and some of the real life consequences. I do understand that, but we do with health, we can find a line and let those who are controlled by their egos, by their opinions.
Okay, excuse me. Well, Mr. Guru, why don't you come up here and show your face and make that statement verbally?
But why?
Give everybody your first, your middle, and your last name, and make that statement verbally. Hey, come on.
Hey, how about? Hey, hotshot. How about this? I'm saying it. You don't need to defend unless physically attacked. Let those who want to be ruled by ego do so. Otherwise, you are an ego slave. Those words came from me, not from New Guru.
They didn't. They came from Guru.
Point.
They came from Guru. I just read it. Is that
what is your point? What is the issue with the messenger of the truth? Do you have a problem with the words or the messenger? Yeah.
Why doesn't he come up here and give his name, his first and middle and last name, and his face, and make the same exact comment?
Were you offended by the comment?
No, I absolutely, I'm not offended by it. I'm asking, a lot of these people like to hide behind their little keyboards, and they won't show their face or tell who they are, and make these, oh, they're such nice little comments. Oh, we are the world. Give me flowers. No, dude, it's not reality.
Hey, come on now. All right. How about this, my friend? Are you feeling more comfortable? Because I kind of want to get back to the fellowship and fun. And
listen, I'll leave you alone right now. If you need me to go, I'll go. I'm defending my great name on your panel. That's being brought up is just all kinds of nasty comments about, man, I'm going to tolerate it.
Okay, Montagraph, I want to offer this though. Sometimes we think we're defending ourselves when we get into our righteous rage and we throw our tantrums. And I'm not saying you're throwing a tantrum, but when we get into these righteous patterns thinking we're defending ourselves, sometimes we're not always accurate, and sometimes we're not always in the right. So I just think,
I'm always in the right when I defend my great name.
until you're
I'm
not.
always in the right.
You're right until you're not. And I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, not in the slightest, okay? But what I do know, my friend, as a fellow human being, what I do know, this life is short. It's really easy to find a world full of enemies because there's plenty of people that want to engage. But brother, there's also better things for you, for your health, things that bring you joy. I'd encourage you to spend time with those things.
All right. I'll see you on the electronic side later. Have a great day.
Respect, my friend. Thank you for joining. Machine Lies, you've been patient. Welcome, my brother. You are a patient man. Let me shut up.
Well,
Welcome.
I just didn't really know what the angle was there, but I appreciate the brother and maybe his astute knowledge of technology, because I run a channel dealing with topics surrounding technology, and the rudimentary knowledge of maybe not exactly how you can find somebody or any of those things, because that information might be dangerous. But I would love to know, without actually exposing how it's done, what the sort of mechanics are there. To how people's information is available online. I'm actually fascinated by those topics in terms of cybersecurity and political science and the age that's going on today. I think that would be a fascinating topic. If the Montagraph fellow is still listening, I sent him a follow on Twitter because I noticed that the Winter Moonshadow individual went ahead and added him on something they posted to my Twitter. But if they would like to come and speak on that topic, because we do have a specific topic about technology, and I saw him speaking on the Flow State panel about biohacking. I'm fascinated by that topic, about how they could send messages into your head, make you think to do things, control people's actions, subtle behavioral prods and tricks, and those types of things. I do find fascinating.
Doggone it. You know what? In hearing that, you reminded me of my blind spot. I did know that. That guy does have quite a bit of, he's got a lot of information and knowledge that I'm kind of curious about too regarding technology.
Yeah.
And I was trying to maneuver away from the agitation, and that might have been a better way, bringing him into what he does enjoy. But we learn as we go, and there's a lot of people I want to learn from. You as well, man. It's good to see you. Goblin, welcome to you as well.
Hey, what's going on, Jack?
Another beautiful day. I'm here, as far as I'm concerned, sharing fellowship and fun with new friends online.
I actually I have a channel discussing what the Machine Wise was asking about. I'll probably drop it in a comment on his channel or something.
Drop it here.
Well, I don't have the link with me, and I'm not too savvy.
You're talking about a channel you made, or a channel about that somebody
No,
else
it's my channel. I got a whole bunch of channels, man.
Oh shit! Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd like to know about some of that. Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
actually a background guy. I'm very picky with the panels that I do jump on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just go wherever, wherever I want, really. But yeah, I don't have any preferences as to who I interact with, and there's probably a good reason for that. But yeah, I actually don't hide myself at all. So if anybody wanted to find me online, it wouldn't be very hard because I am a published author. Everybody knows where I live, So yeah, I'm very easy to find online, and I've had significant amount of attacks as well online, talking about my name, my my good name. Well, it's not a name really; it's a statement, and the statement encapsulates what we're experiencing. The machine lies, and but yeah. So it's not a name at all. I mean, they can attack the name. I mean, I'm attacking the name myself,
Don't
because
you guys remember that old saying back in the day? It was called "Don't start no shit, it won't be no shit." The only people that give a fuck about being doxxed are people that's doing shit that's wrong. If you're just an honorable person, who gives a fuck? You know?
yeah, exactly. I got a statement too. It's called "Start a well-intentioned fight and see the lies fly out in defense." You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Start a well-intentioned fight, see the lies fly out in
In
defense.
defense. Sometimes that
Beautiful.
happens too.
Even the best intentions, man, they get us going.
Or sometimes opening yourself up for attack to lay open the motives of your attackers. Once it's all said and done, people can see where everything is. And sometimes one monkey don't start no show, as they say. Really what it is that something's got to happen. There's got to be interaction. But yeah, I like the topic. I was going to talk about fun.
Good. Yeah. Let's get into fun, man.
Fun. I thought that was a top. I don't know if that was the topic, or if that was just, or if we were just having fun, or if we were fucking with people. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. No,
it's all things, man.
Jack, I just stopped by to say, man, I'm sending you blessings. You know what I'm saying? Much love.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Have a blessed one, man. Yeah. And I'd like to have you come talk about that technology topic on my show, The Machine Lies. Go search it on YouTube. It's the only channel with that name. But yeah, and thank you, Goblin, for coming up there. Unslaved. The albino gorilla. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably talking about the same thing they talked about yesterday. But yeah, I'd like to have a topic. I mean, the fun topic. I think that there is a lot of, as I said one day to the brother Paul Enslaved, I said that a lion, is either playing or fighting. That and when it's playing, it's not thinking about fighting, and when it's fighting, it's not thinking about playing. So the thing about a lion is that it's 100% involved in what it's doing. It's the sincerity of being in a lion state, as being in a 100%, like either fully playing or fully hunting. It's either or. It's the dichotomy of being either or. And I find that in terms of fun, in terms of boredom, it's always dealing with the future, because boredom is about expectation about something. There's always like a fear of missing out. But I feel like fun has to do with the past. In a sense, it has to do with becoming in a childlike state, going back to the childlike state, and you notice that, like, I remember I used to go to the village, and there was kids there in the village, and there wasn't shit going on, and you'd be bored because all you see is like goats and chickens walking around, and there's no technology or anything. So you think, man, what is there to do here? And these kids would come and like play a trick on you. They'd come and like throw something at you, or they'd come like poke you with a stick or something like that. Like, hey, let's go play a game. And you could see like these kids were not bored. They were never bored. You know, they were just in a village with no technology, no nothing. They were dirt poor, you know, and they were never bored. You know, that's what fascinated me, is that these kids, you know, despite their condition, you know, you'd be sitting in this village like there's nothing to do here. But like, you know, you'd have to fight against that because of like these kids. These kids would always want to play. And like that feeling of like fighting, like being like, shit, I don't really feel inside like playing with these kids. But like something about these kids makes me want to like just like not give a fuck like where I'm at, like that I'm in this poor fucking village and just like have fun with these kids. That's kind of how I feel sometimes clicking the link and coming on these panels. It's like, you know, it's like, let me go play with these kids in this village. It's like, you know, like, I don't feel like it, but like, you know what I mean? It's interesting.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, you know, because you think these people are not bored, you know.
Well, it's engaging, right? And that's what playing is. It engages you. If you're actually playing, if you're just going through motions so that you can go sit back down, then you're not actually playing, you're just performing.
That is true. There is an engagement in the activity. And that's the whole point. You're right. There's children are going to, they're either going to play or fight. And I think some of these,
we don't grow out of it.
No, some of these adults have learned how to, to fight for play. And dude, people are so backwards, man.
Whatever. People are great. People are interesting. They're weird as fuck.
Yep. That we are on the same page, Flo, about all sorts of things.
Does you have expectations for people that I don't? I think it's the difference.
I see the potential in people.
That's what I meant. I love these. I love the panel verse because it is. I mean, let's be real. For the truth community, who's still's coming here for truth? Like, is there new information being shared on these panels? No. But the information is, at least for me, I can glean a lot because these things are like little pressurized petri dishes of humanity. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of information and knowledge can be taken away, just not what we claim it is.
Yes. Well, it's not just on here. The benefit I've seen from these panels and from this getting involved in this, it's an ability to interact and observe humans at a safe distance.
Which allows them to exaggerate certain aspects of themselves.
Oh, like that's very true.
Yeah, like the propensity or the desire for conflict. Like I've said, I don't think people want peace. And I think that these panels display that perfectly because it is low risk conflict compared to, you know, the alternative. And people engage in it all the time.
Yes. It's an exaggerated reality where they get to feel more important than they actually are. I think that's what I'm doing. It allows me some level of recognition, even if it's just numbers on a screen. It allows some sort of validation and recognition, but it's not why I'm doing it, honestly.
All social media taps into that.
Yep.
Sort of brain mechanism by design.
Yes. And that's what's a lot of the...
You're not saying anything that isn't true for all of us.
I know. But what is different? I don't know. No, it's all the same. I think a lot more people come on these panels and stuff just to kill time and for entertainment and to talk. You know, like going to the bar and hanging out with buddies and talking, shooting the breeze. When I got on this, I had the idea of trying to share knowledge, share inspiration, stuff I invested my own money into learning. I thought, hey, let me see if others might want this. No. Not yet.
But I mean, it seems, and I came into, I met you, you know, late into your on Slavia,
okay.
you know, indoctrination. But it would look to me like if you came here to see who wants to share your information, but then you go to some place where they're not looking for that information, you've betrayed something about your own desires from this platform. And I'm just playing with the idea. I haven't touched.
No, you're right. You're right. I did actually end up, I resigned myself for a while, for a few months even. I resigned myself to fuck it. I guess I'm just here for entertainment. I mean, I couldn't find other productive things that were more important, so I found time for entertainment and I used it for entertainment.
Well, I mean, entertainment has got such a derogatory connotation. If you think about, like, you know, if you look back on childhood development and stuff, play is the most important part of learning. Who knows what the fuck point this play is, but I don't think anything that we do voluntarily is either all play, all, you know, frivolous life sugar or all pure productivity, right? If it's pure, if you have to force yourself to grind at it, it's probably not. I mean, I can read into that, I think, at least for myself. Somebody else needs to clean the toilets, is what I'm saying.
Someone will.
Well, I think what you're referring to is like passion instead of like fun, and like passion could be like connected to work, and that way the work becomes, it doesn't become fun, but you have a sense of magnanimity when like you're taking part in it. But another thing I notice about this panel stuff is that the chat is like 90% women, but the panels lists are like 90% men. You know, like that's a huge factor too. Like the chat is almost always a lot of women in the chat.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
and if you look
like,
at demographics, though, I mean, I don't.
Right.
My viewer demographics are mostly male.
Mine as well.
As is all of YouTube. But I think it says something. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could definitely read into that. I think I have more women on my panels than most places, I would say.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Your show has a lot of, is like a pussy magnet somehow. But then like my panel like is like a fucking you know, a freak
chases them away.
Yeah, like freak you know, seminar, you know what I mean?
Well, I think really it's the chaos, right? I keep a pretty tight grip on on dudes being chaotic, right? And that's just, chaotic dudes is something that women, I think rightly so, don't want to do. I don't want to fucking deal with them a lot of times. But
well, I want to deal with them because of the pettiness in the chat. That's why I think, because it makes me automatically conflate you with the kind of female energy that's in the chat. So then if you're just sitting in a chat, like just talking at me, then I get like a lot of, you know, I get like a, you know, the low tier energy. And that's why I become like, you know,
low tier.
I mean, no, I become like the type of you know, character, you know, the character of like, oh, these, you know, these loser failures, you know, I start thinking on those terms, but I think that doesn't show magnanimity and sincerity. It shows
Right.
more back into the pettiness and the kind of sarcasm of the low tier.
It's about the lowest common denominator, right? Like
Yeah, and
if you're
that's what I
gonna
noticed. Yeah.
engage with somebody at a level, I mean, you can always go down a level. People can't always up a level. So I don't know if we're having different conversations, sort of.
Well, there's
know.
a
Maybe-
type of like whooping it up like between men. Like you see where people are like sizing each other up and they're like kind of busting each other's balls. But then you have the kind of like office, like in the show The Office, like the kind of like sarcastic, like, like kind of like kind of like pompous, like, like detached, like humor, like sarcastic humor. I think like that's kind of, it's not like fun. It's like mixing fun with the sense of boredom that I think is unhealthy, and I think that's the other side of the coin is boredom. It's like when you have fun, you also have boredom. And I think it's as important to look at how we are when we're bored as we are when we're having fun, because boredom projects a very low tier energy,
Yep. Boredom blocks our curiosity. Flo, is this just a promotion thing they're doing? This is the end? Final episode?
I don't know. It looks like clickbait to me. I can't see why they would end it.
Okay.
It seems to be. Doesn't it seem to be going well?
It seems to be. Their subscribers have grown. Almost 15,000 subscribers.
And it's got a good revenue generating structures.
Yes, it does. Fascinating. But that's what the world is it's conflict for entertainment. That's where we're at. People have become bored. That's the key. See, as humanity developed, as society developed, we got more time away from the natural, preparations, taking care of the land, mending the clothes, doing everything from scratch. We ended up with more time on our hands. Rather than using our time to grow and develop and learn, we got bored.
This is why I don't want utopia.
But what if instead of people getting bored and looking for ways to entertain themselves, what if there was like seriously learning available? Learning was encouraged. What if we created the most intelligent generations in the future? We're kind of dumb, but we're not that dumb that we can't fix it.
I mean, I think if you break down the feeling of boredom, it's a feeling of an immediate future that you will be missing out on. It's a feeling that you're just being pulled along and that something else is going to happen. It's going to be the same as it is now, but it's going to increase. Like whatever shit that's going on now is just going to progress into the future, and it's going to happen like coming up soon. And I think that's kind of like boredom manifest. But when I think of fun, I think of like freshness, like something from the past, like something that remains, but also something new. It's like something that remains new over time. That's the concept of freshness itself. It's like where you have like freshness, you have originality. And that's the paradox of originality. Originality is something new and old. You know what I mean? Because because original means like, unique, but in a sense it means like, like OG, you know what I mean? So it has both into it. And I think this is really connected with, like, I mean, it's a very cliche and kind of feminized rhetoric, but like finding your inner child. And I think it also has to do with a male side in terms of, kids want to kids are ready to fight and play. That they're not afraid to do that. Because they're not trying to be anything.
Right. The kids are just trying to be. And that's honestly how we're supposed to be. Our boredom comes when we ignorantly think we've got it all figured out. But what did you say? Boredom is the prediction of a near-term future or something like that? The denial of a near-term?
Like I would place it into an immediate future that like is going to be more of the same of what we're experiencing now, but like you can't do anything about it. Like it's just going to come. So it's like oh shit, like in the next like hours and days, it's just going to keep on going. Like whatever this is going to keep on going, and I'm just going to be pulled along by it, and hence boredom. It's like expectation, empty expectation, vacant expectation.
That sounds more like defeat than boredom. Okay, absence of expectations. Okay, I get now. Now you landed me there.
I was shadow boxing myself there. Yeah.
No. I don't know. What I've been learning is to avoid things like that. Watch for my boredom. Watch for what am I doing? Am I doing this for entertainment? Am I doing something for procrastination? Am I doing this for whatever? Our time is finite. That's what I've learned. You have a thought, Flo? You're gonna jump in.
I don't have it worked out yet enough to articulate. So let me let it brew a second longer, and I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah.
What's up, Josh? I see you down there. Josh, you gonna come join my panel later? Josh, Josh, watch or come up here right now.
Yeah.
Do you know Josh?
I am a fan of Josh.
Yep.
I can't.
He admitted on his last stream that he's been watching my panels but not joining them. Can you believe that shit?
I can. You're an intimidating guy, so
I try to keep it like cupcakey.
Well, you host a lot of trolls, and it's not a very friendly place on your panel. It's always chaos. Oh, wait, I'm talking about mine.
I was just going to let you ride out with your opinion. I wasn't going to. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
No, hey.
I think the award for most hate watchers goes to my panel. I think
yes,
I think
for sure does.
Incredible amount of hate watchers on my show. That's why when the these guys go, oh yeah, if you talk shit, your channel will be shut down. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's probably gonna happen soon. Like, I'm gonna move to Rumble or Odyssey or whatever these other medians are in order to broadcast whatever I'm doing there. But yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Hey, that reminds me. Did you guys see the cock clips one of me?
I've been watching the Flow State, the re-education camp, man.
Yes, sir. Dude, I just realized like one of my new discovered hobbies is taking benign clips of Jack and editing them into little horror productions.
Oh, Omegle. Have you heard of Omegle?
Yeah, isn't that an app?
I don't know, but
I've heard of it. I don't remember. Here. Go ahead.
This cracked me up. This is the Cot Flicks collection, recent short. Here, I'll drop it down there too. I think it's up.
Oh yeah.
Hope when you take that jump, Don't feel the fall.
There's no way.
Hope when the water rises, you built a wall.
No way.
Anyway, that one. I thought that was funny. I haven't checked it out. I might have to explore Omegle, see what that's about. There's all sorts of crap these days, all sorts of interesting things that are developing and in this world. I can't keep track of them all.
Who's HT? I think isn't Omega? Omega's like a video chat thing, right? Where it's like a
He is handsome truth. He's like a kind of a he would seem to be an informant of like the government, like the way he acts, like tries to embroil people into like I guess anti-Semitic hate groups.
who does?
The guy Handsome Truth. You know, and then they have like the ADL like show up on the spot, like saying they're gonna like take them down. So like they might be working in cahoots with them.
Yeah, the ADL's fucking garbage.
Yeah, they
That's
do
the Anti-Defamation League or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do some shady things.
It's the anti what's the thought police in a sense, but it masquerades as protecting victims. You know, all the worst motherfuckers masquerade as the biggest saints.
That's
recently the Elon Musk is doing a lot of damage control because of his accusations of anti-Semitism online, housing anti-Semitic characters on his Twitter. He's getting attacked for that heavily, and then he's having to do damage control. He's posting a bunch of stuff saying that he supports certain people, a certain group of people, Ben Shapiro and all that type of stuff. So those people have unleashed an online campaign.
So why I'm not up to speed with what the deep state actor puppet is doing. What did he get in trouble for?
It was a whole group of allegations made towards him that he was anti-Semitic. And if I go to his page, I don't know if I could just go to Elon Musk's Twitter page, you know, but yeah, he might be still dealing with some of this stuff. But it was like he had to post all of these, or he had to do all of these meetings on his site with the ADL and representatives of that, and they had posted all that type of stuff. But yeah, I think what happened to him was he got IBM said they were going to pull out their campaign, their ads or whatever, their ads from Twitter, or so it was like some big name companies that demonetized him recently. So he had to do a bunch of damage control. It was in the news recently.
I just couldn't care less about Elon Musk or his subsidized government. You know, he's a government contractor. That's what he is. He's not a businessman. He doesn't run all these companies. There's not a chance in hell.
He's a pawn.
Oh yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
Opposition.
Hey, I mean, do you know how much work it is to run one small business?
I just realized this. I've never really looked at Talcott clip collection, the shorts collection.
Whoa.
I mean, this is what I tried to tell you a year ago, dude. These people would this is why Paul's so angry about you not like culting up all the way. You're the content man. Without him, there's a serious lack of interesting shit going on.
Oh, I know. It's interesting. I think it's funny because what you're saying, I know that to some degree it's true. He knows this too, but he'd rather spend time with Snafu and Wizard, and Mitchell's not so bad. He's a pretty reasonable guy.
He's not reasonable, but I like Mitchell. I don't think that reasonable is the word I'd use to describe him.
Actually, I think he's one of the more reasonable.
Actually, okay, you're right. He just kind of goes neurotic sometimes. Every now and then he just kind of like, yeah, but he is reasonable once you get him back. But yeah, no, yeah, I like him.
Yeah, and I'm finally on the thumbnail today. So I finally got on the thumbnail today on Paul Enslaved. So
Did you?
Oh yeah.
We all did.
Yeah, I made it there too. So I'm happy to announce, my time on the thumbnail there.
I was watching.
Are we watching them watch us? Wait.
Yeah.
We're watching. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're watching them watch us. Watch us.
Ooh.
Oh,
fuck. Yeah, hold on. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me pull it up and I'll share my screen.
All right.
And then we can wait. Would that work, or would that put? No, that would push yours out, so it wouldn't be a whole nother layer deep. It would just be a different window.
Oh yeah, he's still going. I don't know how he's doing it. Maybe it's just doing it.
Now seems like a good time to remind people: $1 memberships on Flow State. It's the best value on YouTube. I'm going to be going live tonight. I don't have the stream set up yet, but if you come over later, buy a membership for yourself for $1. Bring a 20. Give 19 more to your friends in the chat and make it rain. Thanks, Paul.
Respect. Much love to all of Enslavia. When you guys are ready for more joy and fun. Today, the topic, fellowship and fun. You're welcome to join.
They are joining in their own way. This is how they join in fellowship.
At a distance.
I know. They'll reject love.
I know.
Let us love you, Enslavia.
Let us love you. Oh.
Carpe that diem.
People are afraid of love. That's the thing. I was confused by love. I think that's what a lot of people are. This world doesn't understand it.
True, I guess. I don't know if I understand. Yeah, I have no thought on this because I don't understand what.
You certainly get the cheerleaders too, man.
I do?
Yep. You got support and fans all around.
Well, they love me and I love them, and we cupcake.
Well, I think it's more fun to be sweet than to be bitter.
You catch more flies with honey than vinegar, but
no one wants
people frequently, I mean, and this is actually the definition of what histrionic personality disorder, but people confuse intensity of emotion for affection to an extent. Maybe they don't confuse it. Maybe intensity of any emotion is better than none, ultimately.
Yeah, well, I get the vinegar flies, or I'm the fly in the punch bowl.
You do get a lot of vinegar flies, so maybe I stand corrected.
I'm of the belief we do attract what we are. And we attract different versions of what we are. Different. Well, that's what it works. We're all that. And we do attract what we need to learn from. I've been learning from you guys, the people we found our ways into each other's experience. I've been learning from a lot of people.
So you're becoming more capitalist?
No, I'm getting more and more clear that is
You're learning the wrong things, Jack. Learn what I say, not what I do.
No, I'm more and more convinced that this money system is the culprit. People don't.
I agree with that statement. This money system is the culprit.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so.
not. Yep.
All right. So if we agree there, the next step is what do we do?
Why is it the culprit though? I think that's
okay. It's the culprit because it's built on fallacies. This fractional reserve system, it's a bunch of nonsense. Imagining interest on interest, imagining interest on debt. Interest is made up.
I mean, not really. It's an agreed upon exchange of value because money now is worth more than money later, right? Like if you're making the utility, if I'm, what is more valuable to me right now in this moment? Is it the thing I want now or the knowledge that I can have that thing later? Of course, it's the thing right now because I'm making the decision right now. Does that make sense? Because every decision is made in the present moment, then that value is more valuable at present. So if you're going to delay the value, then the value, then what you're getting needs to be bigger than what you could have right now. I don't know if I articulated that well.
Here, pause your thought. I think you did it well enough. But we got a guest. Someone I've been looking forward to.
Come on.
Come on, brother. Welcome to us, Josh.
It's Josh. What's up?
It's good, y'all. It's good to see y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
I'm glad you took the peer pressure bait.
I mean, it wasn't so much that, it was capitalism. And I was like, nah, I gotta tap in. The machine lies. What's good, brother?
What's going on, brother? Yeah,
not too much. Am I too loud? Am I okay?
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
Yeah, man.
Well,
man, that energy. I'm sorry.
What do you think? I mean, so where are you at it? Because he's a commie.
I'm wondering. You jumping in here with Flo, wanting to protect this evil system, or yeah?
No. It's man. Everything that we're doing is screwed up. It's all crazy. Capitalism, socialism, any of the isms. It's all screwed up. This is not how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be coming over to your house and you're giving me some stuff out of your garden. We're enjoying the planet together. You know what I'm saying? Capitalism.
But go
ahead.
Wait, that was capitalism, or that was what were you describing? Sorry, I got distracted by Margot showing me some love.
No, y'all killed it. Capitalism.
I'm such a sucker for flattery, even when I know that like I'm being a sucker. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, capitalism is great though. It respects other people's rights, right?
To a certain extent. It's debt based.
Well, see, now the debt-based monetary system. Okay, so when I say capitalism, I mean basically capitalism at its foundation is an economic system that exists on property ownership and voluntary transactions.
Gotcha.
The central bank system is something different. It's neither capitalism nor communism. It's basically just a grift off of people. Right. So Jack treats the two as synonymous, that capitalism is that grift system.
The two go together.
They don't.
Well, they most certainly do, my friend. It starts as a grift in the banking system, and then it becomes a grift in everything else, the investment system.
Outside of the system, though, there's central banks in communist countries.
That's the problem.
So
the banks are the problem, dude. Yes. Okay. Tell you what. Let's find peace. Fair exchange and money can be a tool for fairness of exchange. Okay, for efficiency and adequacy, we can agree. I don't buy into it. I'm playing along.
Okay,
it's a step. It's a step towards it, but I think as soon as there's transparency in the financial system, we will start to have clarity in everything else. The fact that CEOs and the bottom level worker are actually the same type of beings. They're not worth more than another. Maybe the labor is slightly more valued, but not at 500 times the
rarer
income.
It's rarer.
if there was transparency in capitalism, it would collapse.
Yep. Yes.
What do you? How so? No, it wouldn't.
Yep.
It would collapse.
There is transparent. There's more transparency now in existence than anybody does anything with.
I hear you. I saw an article today. The youth, the youth, they're saying that the 9 to 5 is horrible. It's a why do we have a 9 to 5 40-hour work week? I read the article and they said we go to work, we'll work hard for 3 to 4 hours, but then after that we're just talking, chatting, It's a farce.
It is.
Yeah. So the youth is starting to understand that this whole construct of capitalism, the only way I make it, bro, anybody who makes more money than me, they made it off the back of somebody else, whether it's a negotiation, labor, skills, that type of thing. But the only way and I don't want to make it sound like I'm a socialist, it's the construct. We were given just a few things to choose from: socialism, capitalism. What else is there? But
there's some other options, and I think you have to look into the past for the adequate options there. For example, anybody who didn't have inheritance in the past, was considered a slave by Aristotle. If you didn't have inheritance, that basically meant that you had to work to live. If you had to work to live, you're basically considered an indentured servant, which slavery was not slavery during the Atlantic trade. If you, in ancient times, if you were a slave, you were just an indentured servant. So indentured servitude was considered slavery for all intents and purposes. Even in America, the indentured servants that were here, that were controlled by the rich landowners, they had risen up in like rebellions many times because they were basically prisoners in England. And all that stuff. So when you get to capitalism was actually made as a caste system conceived by John Locke because he wanted to make a system where the rich landowners would control the workers and the workers would control the slave population.
Bro,
so as to get the workers and the slaves to not rise up in rebellion against the rich landowners. They created that system, and part of the reason and part of the ways they did that was through secular liberalism. This was very important because one of the things that John Locke argues in his book, and I have this book right here, I've studied this book many times, and I hate talking about political science. It just gets to like it just happens because I studied it, so I'm just like, shit, here we go again. But then it's like but this topic, it's fascinating because the whole book he's arguing against Filmer's view of patriarchy. So the whole book, Two Treatises of Government, is actually a response to another book called Patriarchy. And what does John Locke argue? He argues that daddy is a sperm donor. Why? Because at 18, the little baby can get his own property and be free. Freedom comes from you owning property. It doesn't come from you having a father and that father teaching you the way to live and giving you an inheritance. John Locke thought that was a bad way to live. So he questioned the notion of patriarchy. But look at today. We don't have fathers. The father is not doing shit in this society, and that's a problem because men don't know the way. They don't know how to be men because the dad's not there. So that's the problem, is that you have a society of women that are going to work, single mothers. In my opinion, the system that was before capitalism that we're missing today is the system of the family. Families used to take care of each other. Local communities used to look after one another.
Neighborhoods.
If you had somebody poor who was struggling in your neighborhood, everybody would know about it. that would be literally the one neighborhood poor guy who can't get his shit together that everybody's always giving advice to, and he's always causing a ruckus. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. But like today we don't have that. We have hundreds and thousands of belligerent, degenerate people, that either come from situations where they don't have an adequate family structure, or they come from a situation of debt. And I'll tell you the type of people who don't commit crimes. It's people who are not in debt and they come from good families. You know what I mean? They just don't commit any crimes. They don't commit crimes.
Look at Jack. Look at Jack. Look at Jack. Jack's gonna get you on that one.
No,
I thought you were gonna say white people.
No. Well, there's a lot there. We have become divided, and it's been a long process, a long growth from feudalism into this capitalism, and then in other parts of the world, other isms were tried, and it's time for new. And actually, what you said, when a child is raised with support and care, they typically don't grow up to be criminals, unless. Well, I won't even say unless. I don't know enough to be sure, but I was going to say unless they fall into the path of temptation, and then there's many criminals in the white collar area who say they're not criminals, they're professionals.
Well, are you defining crime as something that's against the law or as something that's against your morals? That's
okay. Actually, very good, because you're right. You can come from a healthy background and still be legal and immoral. But I think the likelihood of that anyway, when people are raised right, I think they behave right, morally right.
I would disagree. I don't think that you're.
Whoa.
What?
All right, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I don't think that the amount of money somebody has really has any sort of a direct impact on their morality.
Agreed.
I do think it has definitely a direct impact on whether or not they become a criminal legally.
It's valid.
As can be evidenced by myself, right? I have enough money to not be in prison still, and not enough money to not be a criminal.
I think I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Hey, but capitalism, you know what capitalism's turning into? Okay, Jack, I don't know if you caught my live, but I told you I'm staying in the house nowadays. I'm protecting my spirit from things. And I made it sound simple. But even the capitalism itself, those type of things, I'm protecting my spirit from those type of things, because in this time period, capitalism is a tool. That I'm seeing now that capitalism is legitimately a tool, and it can be manipulated. We can say it's being manipulated by the algorithm if you want. In this particular day and time, how is it now that how is it now that a female can post pictures of her feet and make 2-3 times more than a husband who goes to work and grinds to provide for his family, to instill morals, the nuclear family? She can just post pics of her feet in this capitalistic system that we have now.
She provides more value.
Bro!
No. Hey, it's misplaced values. You're absolutely right. People will pay for entertainment and smut, distractions, whatever. We've lost our way. We've lost focus of what is important.
That is the way of people, though. That is people. That's humanity.
Until we find our way. And the way...
okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Jack's
really
way
good.
for humanity is his covert contract to what humans should be in Jack's mind. I'm saying people are a thing. They have always been a thing. I appreciate the thing for what it is, warts and all.
Really?
Not for what I think it should be, because you're just setting yourself up for failure, because you're not going to change humans unless you kill them.
Yeah.
Or microchip them.
I was going to press back against what you said, because there's a couple of things here in the background that I don't know. Products of our society is what I'm referring to, Flo. these people that can they change? Are they willing to change? And Snafu, you're on a short leash. I'm going to bring you up, but please be civil and respectful.
Oh, I just timed him out. He won't be.
I'm being civil and respectful, Jack. You guys tell me to come with receipts. This is all I'm going to say is I posted a link in your backstage. It's receipts of courtroom audio of Montagraph threats on YouTube and fucking fruit.
That's what I wanted for you to shut the fuck up and just let the info speak for itself.
Okay.
And making
Okay, so you've already done what you've done, so now we don't need a narration.
And last thing I wanted to ask you is, he was threatening your chatters. Just now, we have screenshots saying we're going to find where you live. Your chatters, Jack. That's your live right now. October Reigns was making threats on your chatters right now during this live.
Should I call the police?
Privately.
Should I call the feds? Should I?
No. I just want you to know that this little guy has court. If you, I'll
Snafu,
shut up.
You threaten everyone's chatters all the fucking
shut
time.
Shut the fuck up. Let me talk, bitch.
Well,
you don't have anything to say.
No, hey, Jack, I'll be quiet because you're not gonna let me talk till Flow State shuts up.
Well, what the hell?
Let me mute my mic.
Holy cows, man.
Anyways, the link is in your backstage. It's receipts of
thanks. We didn't hear you the first
online
time.
and him fucking fruit. Simple as that.
Thank you. All right. So is that all you want? I mean, is that
because you always say I have
no. Well, then if that's all you want, go ahead and continue your day. Thank you for dropping the links. And for those who are curious, apparently reach out to Snafu. He's got all the links on everybody that you could want.
I stay in the house.
It would make everyone's day if somebody would reach out to this poor lonely fucking loser. He would love to tell you about all the things that other people do wrong.
This is people, man.
Yeah.
People being people.
You know what? All right, Jack. Snafu just made your point for you. I concede. People suck and they need to be better.
Thank you.
Hey, man, look, speaking spiritually, whenever I have a question about anything, scripture, man, I love the live y'all did earlier with, I can't think of his name. Scripture. Whenever I have a question about something, scripture, people, my environment, anything. If it's complicated, people did it. People did it. I don't know if you're hearing what I'm saying, but anything that is too complicated, people did it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If it's simple and it's plain and it's obvious and it's pure and it's wholesome, that's more than likely from a good source. But if it's complicated, people did it. So I'm with you on the humanity thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how that works out. I don't know how. But yeah. Just saying.
I 100% agree with that claim, the observation you just made about complicated, and not complicated.
Yeah.
Well, that's the key. That's what I realized when I started accepting that. That's on the individual level and the greater level. We complicate our lives so much, and people around us complicate our lives so much when we allow the complications. But when we get out of our way, and allow things to work, they work.
Yes.
And on the greater scale, that's what I figured out too. It's so obvious. The money system, the rules of others, the rules of other people, whether you want to call it the economic system, the political system, whatever it is, the rules of others have overcomplicated our lives.
Yes.
So let's rewrite the rules. Let's make it more simple.
We don't have to. We're in a man-made system. We're in a humanity-made system. It's
and it's inhumane.
Yes, it is. We fight. I watched the movie Napoleon the other day. We fight and die for lands and things and resources that none of us will ever own ultimately.
Yeah.
But people can't see that.
We've been convinced it's glorious to die for someone else in the name of a country that you'll never see again.
What's up, Flo?
It's insane.
I'm just envisioning the glorious future state, the flow state. You might say that all of you will sacrifice your lives for.
Hey, I would gladly.
Because
Hey,
you guys
bro,
are patriots.
I enjoy you, bro. More than you know. All you guys, seriously. I watch. I'm there.
I'm glad you're
The
here.
way forward.
Well, there is a way to fundamentally collapse the dialectic between capitalism and communism or socialism, if you could. And the very easy and simple way to do it is by George Orwell in a work called Road to Wigan Pier. He talks about competitiveness and efficiency being a product of this rule of experts, and how this basically the mechanism is this: the average person who's discovering something in a university research project doesn't know what they're discovering it for. They just happen to have the appropriate skills to match the discovery of the materials they're working on, so they get paid to do it. They actually don't know what the consequences of what they're working on will entail, most of the time. And this is what the rule of experts actually creates. It creates large scale technologies and only a few people who can really manage them.
Wow.
And that means that you need the larger technology you have, the more central controls you need. If you want to build a nuclear plant, you got to get government regulations involved in it. So it's just that it depends on how big the project is.
Yes.
And that requires experts, and that's why it makes capitalism impossible, because there's only going to be a few amount of people who have the resources to manage such a large affair. It's going to have to take governments or international corporations to fit the bill to promote and scale up large scale technologies, because the goal of large scale technology is efficiency. And
Once you scale, go ahead.
No, I was just finishing and saying that efficiency is not concerned with human improvement. But yeah, go ahead.
So that, I guess that I agree with the observations, and I guess then that brings you to, where are your values? What do you value more? And I don't care if a government creates something massive, like a new technology, the government owns it. Everybody contributes to the glory of the government that's used against individuals. For instance, it becomes its own monolith. And I don't agree in sacrificing the individual for the monolith. So I would, if given the two options, I would definitely choose a decentralized world with no massive projects to a centralized world with massive ones. And I think that capitalism and communism, ultimately, I view everything, it's purely a scale between freedom and ownership, right? Do you own your own stuff and make the transactions you want or not? So when I see people choosing slave, and I've said this before, when I see people choosing an ideology that is essentially saying, I want to enslave myself to the system, it blows my fucking mind.
Man.
Well, freedom and ownership are too abstract, but they catalyze in these two terms: privacy and security. Those are more visceral and a lot more problematic. You know what I mean? So
hold on. Privacy and security versus freedom and ownership. Is that where you were at?
Yeah.
Privacy and security, freedom and ownership.
I don't think that. I disagree. I don't think that privacy and security can be opposite of each other.
Really?
Privacy provides security.
I don't think it was opposites.
No, not in the sense of you have metadata being used for security purposes.
Yes. And we lose privacy as a result, which means we lose our freedom.
That's right. That's exactly the problem of large scale technologies, mass surveillance, and then the eventual smart city.
I don't like technology. Sorry, guys.
You don't, or you do?
I don't.
Yeah, you do. We all do.
No, I don't. And I understand. I'm sitting here, internet. I understand that. I don't like technology.
It's a benefit, though. it's not, it can be a hindrance. Everything can be good or bad. It's what we're going to use it for and how it's applied in our lives. Technology, yeah, it can consume us, it can take us over. Hell, there's engineers that are purposefully marketing these apps so that we're fucking socially controlled.
Dopamine.
It's a forced convenience, and what I mean by that is that if you had if somebody said, what if I gave you what you wanted but first removed your defenses, you know, and you would say, well, that's an interesting compromise, you know, and we make that compromise every day when we engage in these technologies. You know, we give up some of our
increase the bandwidth. Increase the bandwidth. There's not enough bandwidth. Increase the bandwidth so we can feed them more information. Not so we can receive it, but so that they can feed us more information.
Well,
I'm listening. I'm an open-minded guy.
I think it's more we have access. And Flo I think Flo brings this up, that the information is there. We are living at a time where the information is there and it's accessible through this technology. But we've got to believe that the answers are there. We've got to be willing to look, and it's all an individual path of learning. But where we're at, there's a shift happening on this world. It is a transformation, and I believe the world of the future will be very little like what we have known. Because let's face it, the world of today is very little like some of the past.
Yes.
You know, the dark ages and the...
You're in the dark ages, homie.
We're coming out of it. We are the light that's here to bring forth the new. That's our purpose. Took me a lifetime to realize that, but that's what
we're the light bearers. Is that what you're saying? Woo.
That's the narrow road. That's the narrow road. Yes.
That's the Luciferian road, right?
Oh, come on, bro.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I got
pun
you.
intended.
You're good, bro.
Well, hey, it's the light bringer. It's the one who's leading the way. And I think this is the creator's design. If you look at the past, the visible darkness has been leading. We've known there's, we meaning I hope most people have realized there's been corruption in our government for a long time.
What?
Yeah.
That's preposterous. This is the first I've heard of it. If there was corruption, we would know about it by now.
Right.
Do you know how many people would have to keep the corruption secret? Impossible.
Right?
Capitalism.
Crazy talk.
Transparency. Capitalism.
It's the visible darkness. We've been in denial as a masses of people have been in denial about themselves, about their own ability to break free, to be more human, more humane.
Yeah.
The system.
It's a lot of work. People don't want to. There's a lot of people that every day, probably subconsciously, but they make the unconscious decision to be slaves so they don't have to be responsible for themselves, basically. They trade their freedom for responsibility.
Without realizing it.
Right. But yes, without realizing it. But I mean, that's how most of our actions and views really are. Like most people have no idea how much of their behavior is driven by their subconscious. Like all of it, almost.
But done for.
But this is the point. This is the key. Right now, today, this life we're living, there is more knowledge being shared in the common people, more understandings about consciousness, our subconscious.
More misunderstandings, too.
That too.
Bandwidth.
It's all there, but it's coming out.
Like this motherfucker right here who loves talking about shit that he in the wrong way. I see you there. Yeah. Pretty convenient for you to be doing your mime thing right now. Go on.
Yeah. And admittedly, I am curious about my own choice to have him here.
Oh my God, I've been questioning your sanity about that forever.
Hey, Jack, things can only happen one way. that you can't go back and redo anything. So the fact that he's here, it has a purpose. Everything has to happen the way that it's going to happen.
Stop enabling him, Josh.
I'm just saying, bro.
All right. No, Josh is right. And admittedly,
I know he's right. I agree with him. He's just not helpful.
well, he's kind of playing into the excuse that I'm wondering, because I'm wondering, am I making excuses?
Yes.
Because I hold the hope that whatever happens for a reason, and maybe, Charlie Chapchin might actually hear something that is helpful and healthy.
If we're objective about it, we can say that. Fuck! I just lost my train of thought. We can say that I have ADHD and I'm ate the fuck up, and I just lost my train of thought.
Well, Jack, it may not be him. He may not pick up on something. It may be the people who follow him that are just in the chat, just watching. It may be something that they may need to hear that may change the course of their entire life.
Awesome.
Don't know.
Well, the thing is, though, is he's here playing a clown. He's here playing a mime, and it's for his own entertainment and whatever. He's not bringing value as much as a distraction, and that's what I'm wondering.
It's still an improvement from teaching people how to counterfeit stamps.
Wait, what?
It is.
Yeah.
And
too bad he can't talk, or he would explain to you how you can make your own stamps.
Really?
No, not really. It's fucking bullshit. But it is what he claims.
Well,
I'm so enjoying this.
I'm just happy I'm not getting yelled at for not following his instructions.
That is true.
Hey, I talked about complications in life. That's why I stay in the house, right? So, and I always go back to my spiritual awakening. This is my whole deal. This is why I'm here right now. This is why so when I had my spiritual awakening, technology, capitalism, all this stuff, the complications, we're not supposed to have any of this. Listen, when I had my spiritual awakening, I fell in love with grass.
Hold on. Why do you think we're not supposed to have any of this?
Because when I had my awakening, Flo, I fell in love with grass, bro.
I heard that.
No, you didn't hear it, man. You didn't. Grass. Not weed, grass. And I'm like, why? Seriously, I'm like, why? Because it's green. Because it's alive. Because it has some form of an essence that is sharing this same time-space experience with me. Yeah, in a lower form. But I love grass. Look, Flo's like, I ain't trying to hear none of this. And then
I'm trying to hear it. I mean, I'm wondering if you're
okay.
Was it a spiritual awakening or a mental break?
No, a spiritual awakening. Absolutely. It's different. People say, I need to see it. I need to know if this is real. I've been there. So I love grass. And now because it's green, well, obviously the planet grows grass. So I gotta love the planet. I can't be throwing trash on the ground. And then
you know what this is? This is what I love.
Bro. That's
it's
pretty
lamb.
good.
I love lamb.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's gonna give you light so people can see you clearly through the webcam. But look, and it goes on and on and on and on. And it's gonna sound mundane. The planet, the trees give us oxygen. This is what we've missed in the complications that we've created. Old civilizations realized when you kill something, you need to pray over it. You need to be thankful for the sustenance. We've lost that. The planet, we need to live, we need to coexist with the planet. And I'm not a tree hugging guy. I'm really not. I like my steaks. But we've missed all of that, and we went to capitalism. We went to complications in life. I'm watching the live stream, and I'm vibing, I'm enjoying it, and I'm loving it. And then you get this different energy flux just coming out of nowhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And automatically, it's so simple, but we've complicated it, and that's why I stay in the house now. But I enjoy the conversations.
Why would you stay in the house instead of instead of impacting the world's energy?
I was told to. Humanity. You talked about humanity earlier.
Yes,
bro. People have. I'm not even gonna say I haven't. Self-examination on a daily basis is mandatory and necessary. But some people are not self-examining, and they're allowing themselves to be what is it, Jack? Entertained by things that, okay, you can't have an argument if only one person is arguing. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? When I watched the whole incident that just happened, the energy change, that entire person is set on making someone else understand that they have power and that they can make change and that I am this and I am that. You don't want to give energy to that energy. You just let it go. You know what I'm saying? It's simple.
But the world doesn't. Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Well, we got, not to hold your thought. We got another guest here, and I'm not sure. Blazin Scott.
That's why I stay in the house.
Okay, fair point.
You got to live out in the country. All right. You live out in the country. There you go. You don't have to see all the people. Hello, I'm Blazin Scar. Nice to meet you, Jack and panel.
Hello.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me up. Good combo about the grass, first of all, and nature in general. I'm an animal lover. I've always born and raised out in the country my whole life. So, yeah.
I'm with you.
Do you love grass?
Connecting to nature is important.
All kinds. All kinds.
So
we love all
grounding.
kinds of grasses here. I don't smoke pot personally, but I do enjoy a good pampas grass. It hides you from the
There you
neighbors,
go.
you know?
Good landscaping grass.
Yep.
I did come up about what happened. I'm not here to, I've never met you guys. I don't know if you want to know, but Denise put out a video on you guys. So
I'm going back in the house,
kind of how I found your channel. She put Jack's name in the title, so just to let you know. But yeah. Heads up, don't get a heads up, don't get into that chaos. You know, I mean, no disrespect to any of you, but there are no limits to where that woman won't go to touch you in reality online.
Well, I've been dealing with a lot of people like that for a while. So I've come to trust, this is my path. People are going to come into my path and bring their chaos. And so far, the most part, my path has been mostly painless. Been beat up and
we can fix that, motherfucker.
Yeah. When they hit reality is when it's no fun.
Well, I have a feeling, I trust, and I could be naive, but I trust that there's angels, there's things looking out for me. I mean,
amen, brother.
Most of us, if we're honest, we wouldn't be here today if there wasn't something looking out for us, keeping us from being stupider than we were. And that's been my path. So I'm not one to test the divine. I don't like, challenging tigers and lions, but I feel confident. I feel comfortable. I've done nothing wrong to Denise or Monty or others.
You don't have to.
Well, I know.
You don't have to. I'll just say in some way you'll be involved.
Hey, can we get back to spirituality? Can we get back to spirituality, capitalism?
You've been on here for hours and we can do that. I just would like to, and if he doesn't want to speak with me, he can ask me to leave. I mean, no disrespect. I was just trying to say.
Oh no, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
I appreciate it, and I do appreciate the heads up. But please, we can't change what people are going to do. And, sure, it's good to be aware and it's good to pay attention. But even when we're aware and attention, if people do things we don't like, we can prepare ourselves for the worst. But
I agree. I mean, you have to walk side by side holding their hands down a sidewalk, though, is all I'm saying,
I had no intentions of doing so.
Yeah,
that.
that's why I just, was fair warning. If you want it up on your panel, you can have it, but I think it's much peaceful without it.
This is technology.
Well,
well, I didn't know the woman, and she contacted a cold case unsolved murder in my family. And it got deep. So that's one way she can touch reality. And suddenly I was involved in her daughter's death. The same cult that killed her daughter killed our unsolved murder in our family. So it does touch personally in reality. So go out and touch your grass and stay in your room, because in real life, people can be very cruel when they hit reality.
People can also
and that's what
too. So we can focus on the negative, or we can recognize and make the best of,
that's why I'm saying just recognize that's step one. That's all it takes.
Okay, but I don't see the negative people here. And we don't have to dwell on the negative people either, okay?
I do appreciate the heads up, though.
Yes.
Right, and I think out of this whole stream, I don't know, I just found you. I've been up here, less than 5 minutes? I don't think anybody's dwelling on the negative here for the few minutes that I was up here. So I want to make sure that's not what I was doing. I actually listened and was listening to the convo you were having and thought, these are decent dudes up here.
Thank you.
I hope I don't get mixed in with this. And that's why I came up. My bad if I misstepped. But
no, hey, actually,
continue on.
Blazin Scar, how about this? Thank you. You've already been an asset bringing information, forewarning, a little caution. So
she's been an asset, he's been an asshole, so we could just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, all's good. All's good. You guys have a great one.
Well,
take care.
You're welcome to stay.
Yeah, that was the point. You're welcome to stay. We're just kind of the topic, fun, fellowship. What can we do? The bigger pictures of the world. What are our solutions? Those are the goals.
For sure.
Hey, Charlie Chapchin, he doesn't give a damn about any of this. I can appreciate that.
Well, hey, Josh, I know you're really one, you'd like to avoid the chaos, and Charlie has been real decent, and I'm reluctant to do this, but Snafu, what's going on?
How's it going, Mr. Talcott?
Are you here to join the panel for the topic of fellowship? And fun?
I was listening to your stuff. Good topics. I got blocked by Cynthia for saying, "Why are you yelling at a silent guy?" She said, "I don't like Wizard, even though he's being silent. I think he's been on his good behavior." And he blocked me, so I just wanted to come up and say hello to the panel. But I think Mr. Charlie Chapchin is showing a different side that is capable.
Who gives a fuck what you think? Snafu?
You're a pee-pushing piece of shit. Shut up, Flo. I'm talking to Talcott.
Who gives a shit what you think?
Who gives a shit?
Snafu. I mean, why do you think your opinion of Wizard matters? It doesn't change what I've dealt with.
I'm not saying that's my opinion, not yours. You could have your opinion.
I know. So why do you think your opinion is important?
I guess it's not. I'm a fucking slave to Talcottium. Nothing I say is important. So it's all right. I'm sorry, sire. I'm sorry, sir.
Snafu, take this to a bigger picture, please. A life lesson. A lesson I learned for myself. My opinions don't matter. Doesn't matter what I think of Wizard. It doesn't matter what I think of you. What matters is what I do with Wizard or with you, how I treat Wizard and you. So our opinions really don't matter, Snafu.
Okay. I'm hearing you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else?
All right, take care. I'm going to be out and get back to your original 4 here. I'm noticing you in chat and stuff.
My comment was not aimed at you.
Low state.
My comment wasn't really aimed at you, so
Yeah,
I was actually hoping that she didn't see that one because she's the only one it wasn't aimed at, really.
Flo, we know you're a white knight, piece of shit. You don't have to explain it. You're a white knight. Shut up. Let Jack Talcott cook you.
Jeez. Would you, Snafu, we would get along so much better if you didn't feel the need to insult everybody around.
I'm not insulting everybody. I like TML. I'm cool with this Just Josh. Talcott, Snowball, you're the man. And fucking Charlie Chapchin's cool. Flow State's a hoe. That's a piece of shit.
Bye, Snap. It's been usual. It's been the usual.
Praise God.
Do you think his own internal hatred is causing his autoimmune disease?
It is. You know,
we can only hope that it wins out in the end, right?
Hey man, I stay in the house.
You know, maybe that's the downside of having the silent mime up here, is it invites chaos.
No shit. No fucking shit, Jack.
Bro, I don't know anything about any of this. I've never seen the Chaplain Chins. I don't know any. I don't know who Snafu is. I don't know any of these people, bro.
Oh, you're so lucky. Hey, welcome to my adventure, Just Josh.
No, bro, I'm going back to the crib.
It won't. It doesn't have to be it's his adventure because he chooses to let it be.
Bro, I just stepped out of the house for like a sec just to say hi, and I'm like, holy shit!
I know we got to keep the chaos at bay, or else Josh isn't going to ever give in to my peer pressure again. And I haven't even started my stream yet.
Oh, you know I'm a prepper, bro. I'm ready for whatever. But I'm just saying, you know.
I don't know. Yeah, the craziness. Josh will be back underneath the bed. He's like, "Fuck, leaving the house. I ain't getting out of this."
He'll be like, "Honey, I gotta buy some more ammo before this Black Friday sale's over."
Flo knows me.
These motherfuckers are out here in numbers.
Yeah, seriously. Oh man, I felt the same way. I feel you. This is technology. Listen, all the spiritual stuff that I talk about, this is technology. This is what it's brought us. I mean, good, yes. Yeah, good, yes. But when I talk about, go ahead.
What brings about spirituality then? Right?
What brings about
if that's offered as a positive sort of alternative, right?
Yeah.
In my life, it's been all the worst things, right?
Yes.
So that's not something then that you should want to pursue, right?
What do you mean, bro?
I don't want to go to jail again.
No, I don't want you to go to jail.
I wouldn't suggest anybody go to jail.
But you know that you don't want to go to jail again because you learned that lesson.
Right. But that's not a good, but I would never propose anybody else like follow that path to, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to aim your activity towards something better, presumably.
Yes.
That would include that the better things are, then the less somebody reaping that benefit needs to develop. And so now we're left. So it's sort of it like teeter totters or something. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Maybe.
Kind of.
Welcome, Jeff.
So hey, Jack. You don't know me. I was listening in, and I saw a couple other people came up on your panel, and so I figured I would just chime in and let you know people are trying to just give you a fair warning because you have a channel that seems to be very mellow and on topic most of the time, and people like Denise will come in here and derail it. And she's done that with many communities and many channels. And I am another prime example. I can tell you that Denise Mattow can come into your real life and affect your real life. They send people knocking at your door. I had Adult Protective Services knocking at my door because Denise Mattow called them, told them I was holding my wife hostage in my compound. And I was controlling my wife and abusing my wife.
How is that legal? Isn't that illegal?
Well, it is illegal to file false reports. The problem is when you approach and say, hey, look, now that you know it's a false report, the case has been dropped and dismissed. Are you going to go after this person for filing a false report? And the answer you get back from them is, well, we don't really do that because we don't want to detour people from calling us and making reports in case it's an actual report. And I mean, I wouldn't be saying this, but I recorded the conversations with the Adult Protective Services when they were at my home. And I also recorded and played live the call when Adult Protective Services returned my call roughly a couple days after the fact and said, Mr. Davis, we're sorry, we've closed the case, yada yada. And I asked her on the phone conversation, look, are you going to go after this person for filing a false report? And they literally told me that they don't do that because they don't want to detour people. So I mean, I get that, a lot of things, you may be able to control, but things like that you can't control, and you have to deal with it. You have no choice when they come knocking at your door.
Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
should someone knock at my door, I'll deal with it. And I'm sorry to learn of your experience.
Yeah. And not two of them. So yeah, I'm sorry about the noise in the background. That's my wife and kids playing Fortnite online. But I just wanted to pop up and say, Blazin Scar. She's had issues. Several other people, Montagraph has had issues. So they're honestly just trying to give you fair warning so that she doesn't infiltrate your channel and your community. That's all they're trying to do. So peace to all you guys, man. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. And that's all I wanted to do is say these people are trying to give you fair warning, man.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great night, man.
You as well. Hey, feel free to subscribe, and it seems like we're getting some new viewers and participants with the arrival of Denise. So hey, for you new viewers, feel free to let that subscriber count grow.
Feel free to stay here.
This is technology, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Bandwidth.
Technology. This is the life we're living. This is the life we've been given. So what are we going to do?
Hold on. We've also helped create it.
Yep. You're right. You're right. We've... That's a humbling thought, actually. This is a humbling thought I went through earlier today, but it's the truth. Everywhere we are, we have chosen to be. Everything we have chosen to receive. Those things we keep around us, the life we're living, the comfort zone, the things we're complaining about, all of that stuff, it's all chosen. And so we can live burdened with the choices of the past, in a bad relationship, poorly prepared, poor health. We can continue with those things of the past, or we can turn it around.
Yes.
Start making life more fun.
I'm going to continue.
Huh?
I'm going to continue.
You're going to continue? You are. You're a sourpuss, kind of stubborn in your way.
Hey, well, I'm kind of stubborn, but I think that I'm more optimistic than you two motherfuckers.
No way. Well, maybe those two. Not me.
No, you. I was pointing up. Josh is medium optimistic. Yeah. Josh is a. I don't know. Probably more optimistic than me. Maybe.
Okay. All right.
Probably because he hides inside his house and loves your ass.
Bro, it's not the physical establishment. It's my spiritual and mental. I'm in the house. It's not
there you go.
Yeah, it's okay. So anybody in the chat who thinks that I just like clamor in my house, that's not it. It's my spiritual and mental. We're in a time period of we're in a transitional period right now. You've heard me say that.
I'm in my house too, and in that case, then I'm in my house as well,
bro. Technology, humanity, capitalism, these things. I'm trying to separate myself from a lot of this stuff, mentally, spiritually. physically you can't do it because you got to pay bills. You're still attached.
Yeah.
But that's where I am at right now. And the system only has so long to keep barely making it on a daily basis before the whole thing just kind of shuts down and the new deal comes 2030, that type stuff. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, bro. But I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying it.
What is it? There's a quote from someone who is powerful and influential, but some about in the times of chaos, it's every conflict is every emergency is an opportunity, and the resounding ideas of that time are those that'll emerge. It's time for new ideas. We are at a time of chaos and disorder. It's time for new ideas to emerge, and the new ideas will emerge when we stop thinking the old ways.
Mm-hmm.
The old ways of limits, lack, limitation, division.
Man, I think about how tech. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead. Think about how high tech.
No, I'm just saying. I think about how seriously how technology could have went a totally different way from what it is right now. If humanity, if the people who are controlling humanity decided to go more of a compassionate, a caring way.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, we got Bluetooth. We could literally, I mean, I don't know, you know, I'm out there. We could literally be telekinesis. We could be talking to each other through mental telepathy. We could be moving mountains with our minds, but no, just give them Bluetooth. Just give them a CPU and some internet and tell them don't even worry about it. They don't even need to know about the pineal gland types. Don't worry about it. Just give them this. They'll be happy.
Yeah, there's a a very important key to what you're saying in terms of you started out talking about nature and you're talking about how you're in the house and you're talking about the problem, technology. And that problem is also dealing with what goes back to the beginning of what you said, which is nature, you know, which is that, you know, we got to go outside, like those things you mentioned, like capitalism, humanity, technology. You said, I'm trying to stay away from those things, but we got to go back into nature and find those things because we can't find them inside because that's just closing ourselves off to what's out there. But we got to find loneliness in the crowd and nature, reclaim nature without technology, you know, and that is the thing. So we could see, you know, what we really have that we're working with, you know, that doesn't come from the experts, the system, you know, whatever it might be, you know, the producers, you know, the managers, I mean, the directors or whatever, you know, that is self-reliance, but the self-reliance comes through something greater, which is nature. And that's when we realize what you said, there's an alternative technology. And that's when you get to how did they come up with the technology? They studied nature. You know, so what is the alternative technology is gonna be based on a study of nature, clarity in what nature, because we've developed a system that's unnatural, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, it doesn't serve humanity, let alone serve, you know, nature, you know, which is greater than humanity, because, you know, it's something that is intrinsic to humanity itself, you know. So the thing is that really, you know, and that brings me to the last point, which is because we came up with our technology from studying nature. All technology is a form of biomimicry, you know. So then what we need is we need to understand that nature is technology, you know, and that's when we connect nature, the mind, and technology, which is something that we think is processes that exist outside of us, with something that we can take control over. You know what I mean? Control of, because it's not limited to something that's outside of our nature, you know. But yeah, you know.
Yeah. Solar panels are just big leaves. Yeah.
Thank you, BB.
It's technology that's being replicated. Humans, Josh, what you're saying, man, yes, imagine this world if compassion was leading our choices, if life was what we truly valued, not just our life, but the life of our neighbors, the life of the planet. If life was the forefront, man, humans, when we come together, we're friggin' amazing.
Yes. Yeah. It could be paradise.
When we come together, yes, sir.
It could be paradise. It doesn't change.
And the idea of technology, we've been replicating nature in unnatural ways, believing with mankind's arrogance, we think we can control everything. And so we've created unnatural replications of nature, believing that we've gained greater control with our insecticides, our pesticides, all of our chemicals and agriculture. It's just,
yep.
There's better ways for us, waiting for us. They're waiting. The better ways are waiting for us to choose.
Man, it's coming.
It is.
So am I. I'm just waiting for the machine lies to go first. I normally let machine lies go. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right. Respect. Hey,
no homo. No homo.
I'm wondering, we're coming up on almost 4 hours on this stream. Flo, do you have something scheduled later, or Machine Lies, or Josh? You guys got something?
Nope.
I do. It is here. I'll drop a link too. It's scheduled out. I think I've still got like another hour or so. 40 minutes. I've scheduled it for 40 minutes out. If you're wrapping up, I might start sooner, but.
Hey man, I've enjoyed you guys tremendously. Y'all know I haven't been doing much lately. I Machine Lies, Flow. Hey Jack, I enjoyed you guys so much. Seriously, I appreciate this.
Thank you for joining. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm glad you came up.
Yeah, bro, I'm around. I'm around.
I'm grateful. You are a welcome guest here on this panel. That's for certain.
Appreciate
your
that.
energy, your love, your dedication. Love what you're doing, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Whose eyes are following you, Uncle Fatty? I'm sorry, I just saw the comment, and is it my eyes? Do my eyes follow you? Is it his eyes? Might be his eyes.
I don't know. Hey, I am feeling like wrapping it up. I'll do a couple of final words at the end, but I do sincerely thank you all for joining.
Absolutely. Peace out, y'all.
Later, Josh.
Be safe.
Have a blessed
Later.
day, brother. Yeah.
You too, brother. Good meeting you, man.
Yeah, good to meet you too. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, my avatar. Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
that's it.
Yeah, and those are my natural demon eyes. That photo is not modified. I'll have you know. Just happened to catch the flash. So I don't have any final words. Just a upcoming stream. So thanks for having me up. Good talk. Except for when the chaos came in. But even then, whatever. Later.
Respect. Thank you, Flo, for what you bring. Machine Lies, thank you, my friend. We didn't capture as much as your wisdom as was available, but your energy and participation is always welcomed.
Yeah, thank you. I had a good story that I told on my channel there, a very short one, from Shangzhou, that has to do with technology and just fun and avoiding conflicts as well. It has a little bit to do with that as well, but it's about a man named Hu Tzu who came up to Shangzhou, and this was his friend who was his who was a great logician that he knew. He would always debate this man who was a master of logic named Hu Tzu, and Hu Tzu came up to him and he said, I have this tree in my yard, you know, its branches are too wiry to be used for anything, you know, and it's too big and snarly to even be cut down, you know, and repurposed, you know. And he said, your words are big and wiry and useless, just like that tree, you know. So Shang Tzu said to Hu Tzu, you know, he responded to him, you know, and he said, you know, you know, he said, a yak, you know, it stands on a, you know, a hill, you know, and it's as big as a cloud. He says, you know, there's also like a fox, you know, who chases little weasels, you know, and it falls in a trap because it keeps chasing small prey. You know, it usually falls into a trap or two. It says, but the yak that stands with its chest as big as a cloud, you know, it doesn't go around chasing small prey, you know, because it goes and just eats grass, you know, like my friend was saying, eating grass, you know, like, you know, and stuff like that, like just the simple thing, you know. He was trying to illustrate the simplicity of it, you know. And he said, now you say you have this tree whose branches are too wiry to be used for anything. It's too big to be cut down. He said, because of its uniqueness, it will never succumb to harm. Because of its uselessness, it will remain, you know. But anyways, you know, you guys have a blessed day now, and thank you for joining us here. And you know, peace to all of the people in the chat.
Machine Lies, thank you, my brother. Sincerely. Excuse me. Love that parting story too. The connection of the wiry branches and the wiry words. They serve meaning. They may last due to irrelevance, perhaps. I think that's what I understood from that. But sincerely, brothers and sisters, all who joined the panel today, I genuinely appreciate it. We had some introductions, some different faces, and some different, perhaps externalized conditions, controversies, conflicts that kind of tuned in over here, but we're finding our way. And I trust there is a perfection to all things. So Montagraph and her name Denise and Blazin Scar and just me and all that was part of that other part. You're welcome here. Hopefully we won't let the chaos and the distractions become interruptions, but all are welcome here. And the hope is today was fellowship and fun. I think I covered a bunch of these comments, but there was a couple more. Nude gurus dropping wisdom left and right for us. Realize that you yourself are also biological technology with great potentials. Learn those potentials, especially the hidden ones. For that, health is the guide path forward. I agree completely. Every one of us have these inner potentials, these things that we may not realize, a sensitivity, an acuity, an ability to sense and to know, to see, to hear, to feel. Each of us have these different abilities, different potentials, and it's not just within. Some are beautiful singers, some are beautiful artists, some are beautiful beings, whatever. We've all got our skills, our talents, our potentials, and the potentials are why we're here. Blessings. New Guru, thank you. I think today was a wonderful stream. I did enjoy today the topic, fellowship and fun with Jack and panel. I think we were a success. For those who are interested, again, please double check. Where'd it go? Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, there's others. Check Flow State. Other things are going on. Till next time, please, brothers and sisters, enjoy who you are. Enjoy the practice of being you, being you in the present, not in the past, not in the future, being you, as you, with you, for you today. Because we never know when the last day will come. Today, should all things work out, we'll be back tomorrow. And if so, thank you again. Till then, peace for everyone. Choose love and live without fear. Thank you and God bless.